NLWN-TV presents Countdown to Classic, where we preview today's Classic Wissota Racing action. Countdown to Classic is brought to you by Rock Solid Transport. If you need something hauled, Rock Solid Transport can help you get it there. And by Rookies Pub in Chippewa Falls. Stop into Rookies and watch the races with racers. And now, Countdown to Classic.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios, where tonight on Countdown to Classic, we're getting ready to look back at the races from the Eagle Valley Speedway from July 17th last summer. John Felon's here, and before we get to tonight's action, we'll take a look at what makes the races at the Eagle Valley Speedway so classic on July 17th. But before that, I had a chance to catch up with Erin and Mike Harsh along with Darrell Hazelton and talk about the culture of racing and the effect of racing families in the Chippewa Valley. We'll have that conversation for you right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Countdown to Classic on NLWN-TV.
Rookies Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls has been newly remodeled. They have happy hour Monday, Thursday until 6 p.m. There's free pool Mondays and Tuesdays, and a free jukebox on Tuesdays. Don't forget, Rookies has a DJ every Friday and Saturday night. Stop by and check out Rookies Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls. Don't forget, at Rookies you can watch the races with racers.
And we're here for the first night of Classic Wissota Racing. We'd like to give a big shout out. Rookies Pub, Darrell Hazelton, Erin and Mike Harsh, Rock Solid Transport, the two sponsors bringing this to us. So I figured I'd take a minute. We're sitting down here at Rookies Pub. We'll get a few comments from them, maybe figure out what drew them into racing, what brings them into sponsoring this replay here on NLWN-TV. I'll start with Darrell. Darrell, you are the owner of this fine establishment, Rookies Pub, here downtown Chippewa Falls across from Molson's Ice Cream. Darrell, what brings you into the racing world? What is your connection?
Well, originally my father started racing when we were real young, and I'm an identical twin, and my brother and I really took to it when we were young, and we used to go watch quite a bit when we were in junior high and high school out to Red Cedar Speedway. That mainly got us into it. Excuse me. And then my cousin John actually was the first one of our generation, so to speak, to actually jump behind the wheel. So he was probably the biggest influence on us, on me to get into it, because it looked a lot easier than it was. And John, he made it look easy, but it looks easier than it actually is. But I would say that it started there with my father, and then mostly with my cousin John, though, because he was the first one in our era that jumped behind the wheel, and my brother and I helped him out quite a bit when he was first into it, learning his first race car and things like that.
And you mentioned that your brother John was in it. Now behind Mike and you here is a display board that you can come on down to Rookies and check out, and that seems to have a lot of your family history on it. You want to give a little more in-depth history on what you've driven, what your father has driven. Obviously, we have a memorial race that you do an interview with Travis Hazelton that he won last year. It's the Don Hazelton Memorial. You want to give a little bit of insight into that?
I'll do the best I can, but like I said, with racing in general, it started with my cousin John, and also with his brother Travis. We're kind of the first ones to get into it in our era. And then I got into it. I purchased an old street stock in 1995 from R.J. Alton. His name is very familiar around the racing, program even to this day with the go-kart racing that goes on over in Richmond and that area and stuff with relatives of his. And then, so I purchased that in 95, and I raced street stock for a few years. But I jumped around to a lot of classes over the years, and a lot of it has to do with just luck, a lot of it, because sometimes I drove for other people, and that's really what kind of helps people out, that if you get the chance to get into something that is paid by somebody else, it kind of boosts your career a little bit. So I was lucky that way, and I've been in the supers, and I drove a Pierce stock, even a Hornet. I'm about the only late models, limited late models, mods, B mods, basically everything, street stocks. But I enjoy all of them. But I also now in the last in the few times I've actually been a car owner too, and I enjoyed that part too. But I'm not getting any younger, and it's I guess I've retired about half a dozen times now over the last few years. But but I really am. I get excited every year, and I love to help as much as I can. I try to sponsor as many as I can afford to do. But like I said, I'd have to thank the person that probably drew me into the sport really more than anybody would be my cousin John, and he was the first one to do it out of our era. Like I said, my father did it when we were real young, which I don't remember too much of. Then he got into a modified later in life before retiring in, I believe, 2001. But again, we do the memorial race. I'm very happy that Janice and Jerry over at Eagle Valley support that, and they put that on every year. Basically no matter what, it's going to be something that's should be going on for quite some time. And of course, we miss my father. He's been gone since 2017, and like I said, I look forward to it. Travis won it last year with the Pierce Sock, and it was probably one of the biggest wins he's had, and he's had a lot of wins. So that was a very exciting night.
Yeah, and you even mentioned in his interview he put on a little bit of a show there, whipped some donuts on the go-kart track. That was pretty entertaining to watch. Darrell, when I got into this last year, it was kind of an issue of the coronavirus had taken away what we had planned for NLWN-TV, and Rick and myself were sitting there talking about what are we going to do all summer. And we seen a broadcast out at SK Speedway, and we said, hey, we could try this. And we found ourselves out at Eagle Valley Speedway. I ended up meeting Lou Puzio over in Old Barn there next to the track, which led me to meeting you, which led me to meeting Mike, actually. One thing that I have noticed through all of this is everybody's a family. Can you or Mike elaborate a little bit on what that truly means inside this racing community?
Yeah, I will let Mike take over on that one to start out with. But it is a real family. Everybody's got started because somebody's uncle's brother's cousin's been racing, and they get into it, and it just goes from there. And we are a tight family. Everybody's there to help everybody else, and it's just an experience like no other.
He nailed it. He nails it right on the head right there. I can honestly say that I've never met anybody in this sport that I haven't liked. I mean, I met a lot of people, and I've grown to be good friends with many of those people. And again, it's a good big camaraderie, and it's very family oriented, and I think the tracks try to make that more family oriented each year, and with having events for children and stuff to do for kids, and with that, I'd have to say that that's one of the most important things is to keep it family oriented. Excuse the music in the background. We are live inside of Rookie's Pub here. Now, Mike, I asked Darrell what brought him into racing. Let's get a little insight into you, Erin. Your stepson, Erin's son, Ty, races. We get an interview with him. What brought you into the racing community?
I don't have as sweet of a story as Darrell does. Me and my brother grew up demolition derbies. And one day we just happened to be by Lake Altoona in winter, and they were ice racing out there. So we went and checked it out. So then me and him were like, you know what, let's throw an ice racer together. So we threw an ice racer together, raced it. He got out of it right away. He didn't really care for the ice racing part of it. I had a blast. Well, then ripped the rear end right out of my little front wheel drive ice racer that I made because it was rusted out. Met Hallquests. There was a bunch of other guys there. My start got with Kevin Knutson from K&K Fabricating. I ended up buying a ice racer from him, and then everybody that was ice racing run dirt track. So then we started talking about dirt track, and they're like, well, you ever ran dirt? Nope. And Kevin's like, well, let's get a car together. So then Kevin helped me get a car together and put the cage in it. Phenomenal fabricator. That was my first car, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then, like most everybody in their racing career, ran out of money, so then gave it up for a while, and then got the kids into go-karts and went to the go-kart track one day, and we're like, hey, you guys want to try this? And so we ended up getting a couple of go-karts, and then just snowballed from there, and now we're here out at street stock again.
And it really just comes full circle for everybody involved. And you've been involved for a much shorter time than Darrell has, per se, but somehow paths always seem to cross each other in this racing world. We end up going to different tracks, different areas. What is probably your most memorable moment amongst racing?
Oh, I'm going to have to say this year the Chateau Speedway was a pretty good, memorable moment. Kennedy Swan won her first feature win there. And we all planned to go to the Red Clay, which got canceled. So then we all scrambled around and find someplace else to go because we're all ready to go racing. So there was a handful of us that just packed up and went down to Chateau and spent the weekend down there and had a blast down there. Like I said, the racing was a great time. Kennedy won. And the camaraderie is just, you can't get any better camaraderie. It's like 20 families out there in the pits all weekend long, just hanging out, having a great time.
All right, let's get a little comment from Erin here. Erin, what's it like being the wife of a dirt car racer and the mother of a dirt car racer? How's that work for you?
Well, family is honestly the way to go, and everybody's done a really good job at explaining that, and it really, I think there's many times that it brings our family together, many times it brings it apart. But in all, it's a lot of fun. I love seeing not just with Ty, obviously, you know, I'm biased a little bit, but it's fun seeing the progression that the young racers make. You see them start out, you know, I've seen some of these kids, I've seen Kennedy, I saw Kennedy start in a rookie cage, and to see her come up through, and same with Ty and some of these younger racers, it's just a lot of fun to see the progression that they've made, and you know, they become family too, and with everybody else, and to see them visit and learn, and it's just a lot of fun.
And you mentioned watching these kids grow up. Through meeting these two gentlemen, they brought me up to another establishment here in this city, and we do some slot car racing. We'll come to find out the owner of this establishment's son, Caden, is going to be getting in a B-Mod this year. What influence did you guys potentially have on that? Or how does that work? Did you guys just get told one day, hey, I'm taking my 12-year-old son out B-Mod racing? How does that work for you guys?
Well, that's pretty much about how it happened. He was going to run go-karts another year, and Caden's a phenomenal racer. Awesome, open wheelman with his go-kart. They've been to nationals. I mean, he's had a pretty successful year with that.
And
I thought he was going to run it for another year, and then he's like, well, the hell with it. Let's go to a B-Mod.
Right. And we'll remind the listeners that we're talking about the son of Todd Blazer, who is an ex-racer himself and one of the best ones to ever turn laps, in my opinion. And so he'll be back out now this year with his young son. They're going to be racing a B-Mod. I believe they have a Mars car they're going to bring out. So they should be pretty fun and competitive right out of the box, and that'll be interesting to watch all year.
I think a little bit of it has been too that it was a lot like Ty. Circumstances kind of changed in the area for go-kart racing, and it's really, what do you do next? So.
And I guess the next level is the B-Mod. He's going to be racing against Kennedy Swan, who went through an immense growth spurt last year. I mean, she started out, had a hard time keeping the car on the track, and by the end of the year, as you guys mentioned, she went up to Chateau and just dominated the field in reality.
That was an interesting whole weekend. Actually Kennedy and I got in a little. We got kind of get together in hot laps, and she felt pretty bad about it. Boy, I got a little tear jerky myself with her, but I just let her know that it was okay and things happen like that. And what does she do? I took the next night off. Wasn't feeling the greatest, so I took the night off. But what she do? Lo and behold, she went out and won it, and she won it from, I believe, 10th, if I'm not mistaken. So she went a long way, and like I said, when I was talking about how much camaraderie and just family and friends this whole racing game is, it was really good to see that and be there to celebrate with their family, because they're great, they're good people. Her parents I've known them for a long time, and that was really good. That was good for their team. They worked hard all year for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've gotten the chance to know Swanee and crew over there. You got Will, the pit stud, and Abby, who kind of pulls the moral support for him. And then Jason puts in an immense amount of time. He runs the Northern Wisconsin Ice Racing Association, which you guys watch here on NLWN-TV. Now, this is going to air mid-March. We're sitting here mid-February recording this. We know what you're doing. What is Darrell Hazelton doing for the 2021 season? Let's get this on record.
We probably should take a commercial break. I really don't know. I can't really say for sure. I mean, I guess even if somebody sticks around at the end of the night, we'll probably have another new idea. But But right now, I'm gonna run my super, the affordable super that I had bought later in the year last year. I took most of the year off, and a friend of mine, Lou Puzio, was driving a B mod for me, and I think next month I'm actually going to go down. The plan is to take that B mod down and race at Humboldt, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to do that. It's about 80%. I mean, either way, I'm going to go watch. But we might take a car for the first time that I would be driving. I've been down there several times. I actually hauled John Mueller down one year, and so he could race it. But I've been down there quite a bit, and that's in the work still. But otherwise, I plan on my super stock and maybe jump behind the wheel of. I got a different B mod as well, and kind of just play with it as that. But we plan on going to Jerry's on Friday nights and most likely Rice Lake on Saturday nights. So, that you got the difference in sanctioning this stuff, but for the most part, the rules are the same, and the owners of both them speedways are good people, and they usually put on good surfaces and good programs. So that's what we plan on doing, just having a good time, doing the best we can, and try to race as much as we can this year and see what happens.
That sounds like an exciting Darrell Hazelton answer. I'm going to close this interview out asking both of you, Erin, you can put your 2 cents in as well. I ask everybody if there's one piece of advice, aside from money, to somebody looking to climb behind the wheel of a race car, what would it be?
Oh, you start with that.
I tell you, that's a tough question, but I would say just follow your dreams, You will regret it if you it always starts out with affordability. So whatever class you decide you're going to choose, probably go to less, just for affordability wise, so to speak. But follow your dreams and do it, because if you get, I'm glad I did it when I did it. And I've been doing it now 26 years, and I'm glad that I pulled the trigger on it and went and did it, because it's one of the best decisions I ever made, just for the fun and the people that I've met overall. But I guess just follow your dreams. Don't give up on them, and try it. The worst you can do is, at the end of it, you get rid of it, and at least you experience, because you'll regret it if you don't do it.
Yeah, I would have to agree. That's what I would say too. Is if you get the opportunity, try it. What's the worst? You might not like it after a year. You might just want to give it up. But it's probably, once you try it though too, it's pretty addicting. It's a very good time. Like I said, the camaraderie alone, just hanging out with these guys. It definitely would have to just give it a shot. I guess I don't know what else. It is. Affordability is tough out there. It's hard for just anybody to hop in it. But they got, they got the Hornet cars and Pier stocks that are, can't really say affordable, but they're more affordable than late model, I guess. But I guess that's what I would have to end with.
Yeah.
I would say just talk to people. Get out and actually go to some races, get in the pits, talk to people, look at the cars, look at the, the different classes that are available. At the very least, you're going to make more friends, because the racing people are all very good people.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it, guys. I will add, if you're interested in it, as Erin said, go out, get in the pits, find a guy, go work on their car with them. They are going to teach you the ways. Talk to them. They're going to take you under their wing. This is how this community works. I appreciate this community, especially Darrell and Mike here. They've been absolutely amazing to me all year long, and I appreciate that. NLWN-TV appreciates that. We talked a lot about Rookies Pub, mentioned where they're at. Rock Solid Transport. How does somebody get a hold of Rock Solid Transport? What would Rock Solid Transport be looking in a potential customer?
It's a loaded question. I'm in it for the sport. It's not. I don't have the type of business where we're in transportation and we don't. I don't know. It's hard to get into something like that. I'm in it for the sport. I just love the sport.
All right, let's word this a little bit different for you, Mike. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, feels that they have a business need that would meet up with your business need, how do they get a hold of Rock Solid Transport?
Google, phone number, look me up, hit me up at the track. Email address, Mike at rocksolidtransport.com. There you go. Good job, hon. Yeah, I'm not good at this part of the interview.
And that's quite all right. Mike, Darrell, Erin, I appreciate you guys. This has been Classic Wissota Racing, again brought to you by Rookies Pub and Rock Solid Transport. We're going to have more for you right after this quick pit stop.
Rock Solid Transport, ready to move your product. Whether it's produce to seafood or building materials to general freight, Rock Solid hauls it all. If you need a flatbed, pneumatic, or refrigerated shipment, Rock Solid is ready to meet your needs. Call Rock Solid Transport at 715-874-7625 and let Rock Solid Transport get your product where it needs to go.
Welcome back to Countdown to Classic, as we're getting ready to bring you a rebroadcast of the races from the Eagle Valley Speedway on July 17th, 2020. As we've been looking at the culture that is dirt track racing, watching tonight's races for the variety of emotions and excitement put upon the Hazelton family as Travis Hazelton competes in the Pure Stocks. In addition, we have a full slate of Wissota Racing action from that night. All of that coming up next on Classic Wissota Racing Action. You've been watching Countdown to Classic on NLWN-TV.
Look at that. It's so sad.
You've been watching Countdown to Classic on NLWN-TV. Countdown to Classic has been presented by Rock Solid Transport and Rookies Pub. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Classic Wissota Racing Action.
You made her college years possible, opening that education savings account when she was little, spearheading campus tours, and deciphering financial aid. If you can ace planning for college, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
NLWN-TV welcomes you to Classic Wissota Racing Action. We hope to help get you ready for the 2021 racing season as we replay some of the races from last summer. Classic Wissota Racing Action is brought to you by Rock Solid Transport. Regardless of what you need hauled, Rock Solid can help you get it there. And Rookies Pub in Chippewa Falls, where you can watch the races with racers. Now, let's head back to last summer and check out some Classic Wissota Racing Action.
Hello and welcome to Wissota Racing Action out here at the Eagle Valley Speedway in Jim Falls, Wisconsin. I am John Fellens here with Rick Olson. We're going to have a whole lot of racing action today. We're going to start out with the street stocks. We're going to go to the Midwest mods, then the super stocks, the pure stocks, the Wissota mods, and we're going to end it out with the Hornets. We're going to get a whole set of heat races to start the night, and we'll go into the features later on tonight. You're going to get all of this racing action and more right after this quick pit stop on NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the
Anthem. John Fillon's back with you with Rick Olson, and we're getting set for Wissota Street Stock Heat Racing tonight.
All right, getting set to kick off.
We are going to turn the action over to track announcer Scott Teefs for the announcing of the race.
Field to the green flag, racing out of Eau Claire in the BSR Motorsports Liddy's Factory Services 7. That'll be Shane Linsa starting inside of row 1, going to Shane's outside. He's out of Mondovi. He sits in the Kelly Oil Well Drilling. Iverson Motorsports and Creative Construction 1R. That should be Cole Richards. Second row back on the inside, a two-time feature winner out of Mondovi. He sits in the Pace Farms, CarQuest Auto Parts, and Richards Race Cars and 3R. That will be Danny Richards. And going to Richards outside, first night out for the 2020 season. He is out of Osseo. He sits in the Kensal Lawn Care, Drop Zone, Septic and Portables, and 42K. That should be Mike Knutson. Third row back on the inside, driver calling to Auburn, home of the Rookies Pub, Tim's Automotive Machine, Hayes Race Cars in 2D. That should be Dalton Hazelton. And going to Dalton's outside, he's out of Greenwood, sitting in the Sunnybrook Fence and Deck in C&J Auto and Machine in 3J. That should be Jared Lindner. Final row to the inside. He's out of Ladysmith. He sits in the TRH Concrete. Goal out and Angle Custom Crushing in Troy Shop in 9. That should be Adam Saltis. And the final starter on the field, he is out of Chippewa Falls, sitting in the Rock Solid Transport, MSK Realty, and the Rap Guys in 26. That should be Ty Age, and the final starter on the field here in Heat 1 of 2 for your street stocks.
All right, we're back with you here. Huge thank you to Steve Teefs for the introduction. Scott Teefs, excuse me. We're getting ready for some incredible action tonight. Rick, it's our first broadcast of the year. You excited for anything in particular?
Racing, dirt track racing. It doesn't get better than that. And John, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. They just gave the starting lineup for Heat A, and we're going to have 2 heats in the street stocks. The street stocks is oftentimes one of the more entertaining classes, because these guys they'll go out there and drive in circles, but they'll also hang and bang with each other a little bit too. And we just got our heat list, so we know who's racing in what. So here we go, John. There are 15 drivers in the street stocks. So that first heat has, it looks like there's more than 15. We got 8 in the first and 7. Well, that comes out to 15, doesn't it? 8 and 7. So I guess their math is better than mine.
Yeah. So we just got the stand or the list in front of us. We'll introduce them.
John, why don't you do a real quick reminder again of who's driving, because we're waiting for the cars to come out on the track.
Absolutely. Here in Heat A, we're going to have the car of 7L, Shane Lindstedt, out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, followed by Danny Richards in car 3R. We're going to have car D2, Dalton Hazelton, followed by car number 9, Adam Saltis, followed by car number 1R and Cole Richards, and car number 42K and Mike Knutson. Rounding out the field, we're going to have cars 3J of Jared Linder and 26 of Ty Agan out of Chippewa Falls. And that will be how the start of our first heat race will go tonight.
As you can see, our fearless cameraman, who has never done racing before, but he's going to give it a try, has an eye on the pits. We're waiting for those street stocks to come out. Or as Ben was talking about it in the pits with you earlier, right before we came on live here, he called them streeters. And so they're all getting lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, and Rick, one of the things we'll kind of learn through the course of the season is there's a lot of lingo involved in racing.
There is, and for those of you not familiar with it, we'll try to not overdo the lingo or jargon or street talk. That's a whole different kind of street talk, I think.
Yeah, but we're getting ready here. They're watering the track right now, packing it down. We're going to have cars on the track here. In fact, they're rolling on right now.
The track official gave him the caution to bring them out.
We're going to get a couple laps of warm-up here, and then they're going to give them the one to go, and we will turn the racing action over to track announcer Scott Teefs for the call of the race.
When we get the one to go.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have taken a look at some of these cars. That 42K of Mike Knutson, it has mostly gray with orange ends to it. my guess is keep an eye on 3R of Danny Richards. He's been really impressive the last couple weeks, motoring his way around that track pretty quickly. Mostly white with some orange highlights streaking up through it. They're still coming around with the cautions, so they haven't been given the one to go yet.
Seems like Race Command is getting them set up in their starting positions here.
3J of Jared Linder out of Greenwood has definitely seen some racing action.
He's in a white and orange car right there.
And I'm trying to see who that number 2 is. Oh, there it is, 2D Dalton Hazelton of New Auburn. That's got a few rubs and scrapes on it as well.
And that will happen through the course of the season, Rick. You get a little bit of rubbing as racing going on.
As they come by. Yeah, Hazelton's number 2 on the passenger side door is just about rubbed off.
Yeah, so we're gonna begin the one to go signal here. It seems like next time by. We'll wait and see what the track officials give us, and we'll make a determination of where we go from here as the cars are going into turn 3 and now hitting turn 4.
Well, there's supposed to be 8 out there, but I only see 7 out there. I don't see who did not make the start. They still are going around, so they don't have the one to go yet. I think they're trying to give somebody all the chances in the world to get on the track. I see a car up there, but that might be the next heat getting ready. And John is busily cross-checking numbers with the roster.
We are missing the number 9 of Adam Saltis. Saltis. And folks, actually, I misread this starting lineup for you. It's going to go Shane Linseth, Cole Richard on the front row, Danny Richards and Mike Knutson on the second row, Dalton Hazelton and Jared Linder on the third row, and Adam Saltis and Ty Agent on the final row there.
Except Saltis isn't there. And they're still going around, and we're kind of waiting.
I think they're giving him every opportunity to get out here. Now, if he does, for whatever reason, miss the heat race, Rick, he could still participate in the feature.
That's right, but he'd be at the very back of the pack. They're getting the one to go this time around, I believe.
Yeah, they're getting the one to go.
Yep, one to go.
We will be turning action over to track announcer Scott Teeves for the call of this.
To drop down around the Eagle Valley Speedway, Shane Linseth out of Eau Claire inside of row 1, and Cole Richards to the outside. It'll be Danny Richards, a 2-time winner, and Mike Knutson in the 42K, Dalton Hazelton, Jared Linder, Adam Saltis, Ty Agent. That is your field. First up, 2 for your Wissota Street Stocks tonight. Here we go. 8 laps in distance. Shane Linseth, Cole Richards from row 1. Cole Richards going to jump out front early, going to bring Danny Richards along with him. Then it's Mike Knutson. Hazelton, Linseth, and Linder going to battle, and it's Ty Agent. Mike Knutson and Cole Richards will go door to door here in the opening lap with Danny Richards right there. As I mentioned, it is Knutson's first night out in the 42K. Cole Richards and Danny Richards going to battle behind him along with the 2D of Dalton Hazelton. Jared Linder now to 5th, and it's Linseth, Ty Agent, and Adam Saltis in the 9. Danny Richards going to work underneath Mike Knutson as they battle out front. Knutson continues to work right through the middle of the Eagle Valley Speedway. Richards on the bottom. Cole Richards is still third. Dalton Hazelton and Jared Linder. That is your first 5. Great battle out front. Danny Richards, your leader. Danny Richards, Mike Knutson, Cole Richards, your first 3. Dalton Hazelton and Jared Linder. Then it's Ty Agent, Shane Linseth, Adam Saltis. That is your field. Danny Richards trying to hang on. Laps winding down now for Danny Richards in 3R. Richards with a 2-car length advantage over Knutson as they drive down the back straightaway. Cole Richards is still third, this time by white flag waving one more time for Danny Richards. Final trip around the Eagle Valley Speedway for Danny Richards. Mike Knutson going to give it one more shot and keep an eye on the battle for third. Richards, your leader off at turn 4, now going to be a winner in 3R, Danny Richards. So that will do it for Heat 1.
Okay, John, hey, that was a heck of a first heat. We had Danny Richards hanging on for first, Mike Knutson second, third place went to Cole Richards, and fourth place to Dalton Hazelton.
Yeah, and Mike Knutson there, his first time out on the track this year, almost looked like he was going to drive up there and drive away with the race, and Danny Richards kind of said, "No, man, this is my track. We're going to race my way." And they had a competitive race right there until the checkered flag.
And so now they're scaling the first 3 cars, and then we'll be getting ready for heat number 2, or heat B for the street stocks.
Hey, fans, is your check engine light on? Call First Choice Mobile Repair to take care of the problem. 715-559-5219. First Choice Auto or Mobile Repairs makes house calls.
And I don't think they needed to make any in this race. Everything seemed to be going well, but for some reason, as we're getting ready for the second heat, car number 84 had to make a stop and chat with the starter down there, or the track official. Well, so did car number 40.
Yeah, the track official being Steve Brown, they refer to him as Brownie around here.
Okay, coming up in this heat, we have on the inside of row 1, James Clausen from Barron.
Cody Coomer there from Medford. We're going to get in row 2, Ron Hainstead and Corey Richard from Rice Lake. In row 3, we get Caden Engel and Hudson Van Guyder. And then in the 4th row, all by himself, is Travis Lowe.
Yeah, Hunter Van Gilder out of Rice Lake, Caden Engel out of Bruce, Corey Richter from Rice Lake, Ron Hainstead from Glenwood City, and Cody Coomer from Medford. And of course, taking the pole in this heat race is James Clausen from Barron. They've got the one to go, so let's turn it back over to our track announcer.
So caution lights should be going down around the speedway. This is going to be a very, very good heat race. James Clausen and Cody Coomer. Coomer, the 4-time winner. Ron Hannestead and Corey Richter. Caden Engel, Hunter Van Gilder, and Travis Lowe. That is your field for your second and final Wissota Street Stock heat race. 2 Wissota Midwest Modified heat races up after this one. 8 laps the distance. Green flag flying high above the Eagle Valley Speedway. Cody Coomer will lead lap 1 of the 12. James Clausen and Corey Richter behind him. Coomer started outside of row 1 and has stayed there. Richter going to battle with James Clausen. Travis Lowe, Ron Hannestead, Hunter Van Gilder, and then Caden Engel. That is your field. Cody Coomer trying to hang on here early in 12. Coomer trying to put some distance on Clausen, who's battling with Richter. Hang on to Hannestead. Hannestead gets loose. Van Gilder will drive by on the inside. Coomer trying to stretch it. Clausen's got his hands full of Corey Richter and Travis Lowe. Van Gilder now to 5th. Hannestead back to 6th, and then it's Caden Engel in the 7. Cody Coomer continues to lead in 12. Coomer, your 4-time feature winner, continues to stretch it. Clausen now going to have to battle with Travis Lowe. How about Lowe in the 40? Started inside of row 4, working on Corey Richter as they battle for third. Van Gilder trying to get in the mix as well in the 84. Then it's Hannestead and Caden Engel continue to battle towards the back of the field. This time by white flag waving one more time for Cody Coomer in 12. Coomer will drive down the back straightaway for the final time. Clausen in the 40 of Travis Lowe to follow. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for Cody Coomer. So there you have it. Third will go to the 40 of Travis Lowe. Runner up to the 24 of James Clausen. And in the Baxter Speed Shop, Troy Shop, All Sports Graphics, Vince's Speed Shop, Comstock Gutters, Mayer and Associates, and Quality Collision. He's out of...
Well, it was a heck of a heat there too, John, and I'm not sure about that second and third place finish. That was pretty close to a photo. And from my angle, I thought it looked to me like... number 40, Travis Lowe, just edged him out at the finish line, but the track announcer said it was 24, James Clausen.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they've got electronic timing here, and that could just be a track official decision, and, well, it just means that you're going to start one row further in the future.
Yeah, that's really all it means. So, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the street stocks.
Yeah, absolutely. We had two very, very good races. Coming up next, we're going to have the Wissota Midwest Mods, and we'll have the action on the two heat races right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
Rock Solid Transport, ready to move your product. Whether it's produce to seafood or building materials to general freight, Rock Solid hauls it all. If you need a flatbed, pneumatic, or refrigerated shipment, Rock Solid is ready to meet your needs. Call Rock Solid Transport at 715-874-7625 and let Rock Solid Transport get your product where it needs to go.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We have the Midwest Mods coming up here with Heat A. We're going to give you a quick starting lineup here. We got Jake Stye out of New Auburn starting on the front of the front row. In car number 1 with Shane Holupka and 3 JR out of Greenwood, Wisconsin. Row 2, we have car 7W of Dan Larson Jr. from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Outside the second row will be Derek Haas out of Thorpe, Wisconsin. Inside the third row will be the 18S of Kennedy Swan out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Outside the third row will be number 12 Craig Haas out of Thorpe. On the fourth row, we have number 8, Brian Pretzman out of Cadott, Wisconsin. On the outside of row 4, the 24P of Louis Pizio out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And in the fifth row, all by himself in the 19 car, we have David Matson from Amory, Wisconsin.
And the one thing I know about the mods, and I don't care if it's Midwest Mods or the Wissota Mods, they're loud.
They are very loud.
We're gonna get a little noise in this one, and that's okay. That's kind of what you come to the races for.
Absolutely, and we're gonna hopefully get a good race out of here. Fans, if this is your first time watching, you will start to see that these mods cars look very, very funny, and that's why they're called mods. Is they're modified cars. They're stock cars. They are designed for speed. They are designed for power. They're designed to get a little bit weird on the track. You'll watch them get a little bit sideways, and I tell you what, these drivers love this, and they're going to have a lot of fun doing this tonight. They've had a lot of fun all year long. And
although, John, you did say that they're stock cars, there's not a thing stock on them.
Ladies and gentlemen, stock cars does not mean stock anymore. This is not 1948. When we say stock cars, we mean completely built from the ground up.
And that's exactly what Ben was talking about when we were chatting with him a little bit. And in fact, I think that's a good topic for a future show. And we can do a little bit of talking about what it takes to make these cars. And let's see, I don't see the oh, there he is. He was behind a post. I didn't see the track official there for a second.
Yeah, he's standing there, and he's giving the 2 to go signal right now. So we're going to make sure that they get lined up properly, and we'll hand it off to track announcer Scott Tiffs again for the calling of Tiefs, excuse me.
Yes, as he explained it to me, it's like Chiefs with a T.
We'll hand it off to track announcer Scott Tiefs here for the call of the race, and they are lined up, and it looks like they are lined up properly because the flag man on the track is getting the 1 to go, so we will turn it over to Scott Tiefs for the call of this.
No, he's still got him under caution. He's pointing him to the outside for some reason. So they aren't quite ready yet. He gave him the 2 to go. He just held up 2 fingers.
Yeah. Must have had something go a little bit wrong on the lineup here, and
or something on the track or something that they had to take care of. I don't know.
You'll see sometimes that you might not notice what's going on, but there's a lot of factors that will cause a 1 to go to a 2 to go real quick. Isn't that right, Rick?
That's very true. That's true. Now it looks like he's pretty much ready to give him that 1 to go.
Yeah, he's giving him the 1 to go. We will turn the action over to Scott Tiefs for the call of this A heat race.
Yeah, it's race A in the Midwest Modified.
So caution lights will be dropping down around the Eagle Valley Speedway. Jake Stye, Shane Holupka. That is row 1. First of 2 for your Midwest Modifieds. As usual, 8 laps the distance. Hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for spending your Friday night here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We certainly do appreciate it. Here comes Jake Stye, Shane Holupka right at you from row 1. Shane Holupka will jump out front in the lead early. Derek Haas will settle into second, then it's Jake Stein, Dan Larson Jr. and Kennedy Swan, your first 5. Shane Holupka working the top side of the Eagle Valley Speedway. Holupka started outside of row 1 and has stayed there. Check out the battle now for 4th as Kennedy Swan going to look to the inside of Dan Larson Jr. Holupka, Derek Haas, and Jake Stein. Kennedy Swan now to 4th. Dan Larson Jr. back to 5th. Then it is the 12 of Derek Haas. Holupka trying to put some distance on the 80 of Derek Haas as they race down the back straightaway. Jake Stein comfortably to 3rd in the 1. Shane Holupka started outside of row 1 and has stayed there as Derek Haas tries to track him down in the 80. Holupka, Haas, Jake Stein. Kennedy Swan is 4th. Dan Larson Jr. is 5th, and it's Derek Haas, white flag waving this time by for Shane Holupka. Greenwood, Wisconsin, Shane Holupka down the back straightaway one final time. Working to the outside and off at turn 4, checkered flag waving this time by for Shane Holupka.
Well, John, Shane Holupka sure wasn't going to take any prisoners on that one.
Shane Holupka doing what Shane Holupka does, and that's lead races. Shane Holupka's, I do believe, leading the points in his division. Yes, he is. He's got an 86-point lead in the Midwest Mods.
And that helped it out a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Winning your heat race, I can't tell you the exact amount of points, but there is some points involved in winning the heat race. And
so we had Halupka, Haas, Sty, and Swan were the top 4 in that race.
Fans, don't forget that 1 week from tonight on July 27th, we'll be right back here with more Wissota Racing action from the Eagle Valley Speedway. It is the Kyle Ruhnke Memorial. Recorded on July 24th, the broadcast begins on NLWN-TV at 6 p.m. next Monday night.
And of course, we're looking up forward to that with the Kyle Ruhnke Memorial. But we have Heat B out on the track, and that starts with Kent Baxter from Colfax having the pole position. George Dahlbeck from Wakefield, Michigan in 23 Double D is on the outside of the front row. Then comes Steve Haas in row 2, and Dylan Gadel from Chippewa Falls. Haas is from Elk Mound. Antonio Pintero from Osseo starts row 3 on the inside. Cole Mueller from Chippewa Falls on the outside of row 3, and then in row 4, Shadow Kitchener from Arkansas and Josh Smith from Fall Creek. And those are the 8 cars in the Midwest Mods.
And Rick, they've gotten the one to go already. We're going to turn it over to Scott Teeves for the call of this race.
That sounds like a good idea. Take it away, Scott.
Dahlbeck from row 1, green flag waving this time by. George Dahlbeck will be scored your early race leader. Baxter going to settle into second. Then it's Dylan Gadel in the 24, followed by the 6S of Steve Haas. Look out. Gadel getting loose. He'll lose a couple spots in the 24. Kent Baxter is tracked down Wakefield, Michigan's George Dahlbeck. Steve Haas, Josh Smith, Dylan Gadel, your first 5 remain the same. Keep an eye on the 21J of Josh Smith, started 8th on the field, now working to the outside of Steve Haas as they battle for 3rd. George Dahlbeck now trying to put some distance on Kent Baxter. Josh Smith has now cleared Steve Haas. Dylan Gadel going to look to the outside. Antonio Pintero working upstairs. Shadow Kitchener, and then Cole Mueller. Steve Haas continues to battle with Dylan Gadel. George Dahlbeck just cruising out front in 23 Double D. Dahlbeck on cruise control. Kent Baxter still second. Josh Smith the third, this time by white flag waving one more time for George Dahlbeck. George Dahlbeck started outside of row 1 and has stayed there. The Wakefield, Michigan racer will drive into turn 3. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for George Dahlbeck. So there you have it. Third will go to the 21J of Josh Smith. Runner-up to the 95X of Kent Baxter. And in the Dahlbeck logging, Buzz Signs and Graphics, Bears Trucking, and Fast Lane Motorsports. He calls Wakefield, Michigan home. Your winner in 23 Double D, George Dahlbeck.
And he actually left no doubt almost from the get-go, John.
Absolutely not. And I mean, this guy came all the way from Wakefield, Michigan. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what you are reading.
I have no idea how far of a drive that is. I don't have my phone in front of me to go give that a look, but that's pretty impressive to come all the way here to Jim Falls, Wisconsin from Michigan, and he put in a
walk away with a heat victory. And coming in second place, of course, is Kent Baxter out of Colfax. and then Josh Smith from Fall Creek, and Dylan Gadel from Chippewa Falls. John, we have the is it Super Stocks next, I do believe.
Yeah, we have the Super Stocks next. We have an A and a B heat race, and we'll get right back to that after this quick pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
Rookies Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls has been newly remodeled. They have happy hour Monday, Thursday until 6 p.m. There's free pool Mondays and Tuesdays, and a free jukebox on Tuesdays. Don't forget, Rookies has a DJ every Friday and Saturday night. Stop by and check out Rookies Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls. Don't forget, at Rookies you can watch the races with racers.
And we're back here at Eagle Valley Speedway for the A race of the street, or the Super Stocks. This is a heat race. I'll give you a quick lineup here. Coming in the front row on the pole position is Terry Spacek from Phillips, Wisconsin. On the outside of the first row is number 93, CJ Wagner out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Row 2 on the inside is car number 76, Doug Koski out of Chisholm, Minnesota. Number 27,
That's Chisholm, Minnesota.
Chisholm, I am sorry. Number 27, Terry Faulkner on the outside of the front, or the second row out of Menominee, Wisconsin. On the third row inside, we got car number 2 and Bart Steffen out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And on the outside of row 3, car 1E, Eric Olson out of Ladysmith, Wisconsin. And on the final row, row 4, car 1M, Kurt Myers out of Cameron, Wisconsin. And car 10, Joe Miller out of New Richmond, Wisconsin.
And one of the things we should probably point out is that these cars, their starting position has nothing to do with how they've performed this year. It's purely a luck of the draw in the heat race.
Absolutely, and Ben will explain that later on in the air. Is when you pull into the track in the day of the race, they have a hat there, and you pick a number, and whatever number you get is where you start in these heat races, and then where you finish in the heat race will determine where you start in the feature. And as you watch, if there's an A and a B or if there's an A and a B feature, one will be the inside row, one will be the outside row, and wherever you finish will be where you start on that row.
And they're trying to get them lined up. They're getting close. They're giving 2 to go.
They're telling the cars in the back to speed it up a little bit, catch up to the front. And in a minute here, we'll turn it over to track announcer Scott Teefs for the call of this race.
And these are the Super Stocks. They kind of almost look like something that came off of a street, but there's nothing street qualified about any of these cars.
No, there's not. The motors are souped up. The bodies are different. The suspension is something you'd never see on a street. And we are getting the 1 to go, so we will turn it over to Scott Teefs.
Come everyone from the Northern Lights Webcasting Network with us tonight. South Phillips, Wisconsin's Terrence Spacek, Rice Lake, Wisconsin, CJ Wagner. That will be your front row. Doug Koski and Tony Faulkner, Bart Steffen and Eric Olson. Last Friday night's winner, Kurt Myers and Joe Miller. That will be your final row. 8 laps in distance, green flag flying. Terrence Spacek going to work upstairs. Tony Faulkner to the bottom. Spacek will lead lap 1. Eric Olson and Kurt Myers trying to make their way through the field. CJ Wagner now got company, and Myers going to try and bring Olson and Bart Steffen along with him. Terrence Spacek continues to lead. Tony Faulkner to second. Myers now third. CJ Wagner, Doug Koski, Eric Olson, Bart Steffen, and Joe Miller. Terrence Spacek started inside of row 1 and has stayed there. Myers going to work to the outside of the F27 of Tony Faulkner. Spacek, Myers, Faulkner, Koski, and Eric Olson, your first 5. Bart Steffen and C.J. Wagner, and then Joe Miller in the 10. Terrence Spacek's got it going on tonight. Your leader in 22T. Spacek, Myers, and Faulkner, your first 3 all TRC race cars. This time by white flag waving for Terrence Spacek. Spacek's got it cranked up on the cushion in 22T. Myers still second and Faulkner is third. But off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for Terrence Spacek. So that will do it. Third, we'll go to the F27 of Tony Faulkner, runner-up to the 1M of Kurt Myers. And in the Maryland Finetti-sponsored Phillips Lanes, Easter Home Construction, and MBS 22T, your winner is out of Phillips, Terrence Spacek.
Okay, that takes care of Heat A in the Super Stocks. 15 entries in the Super Stocks. We have 7 in Heat B. We have Terrence Spacek taking first, Kurt Myers from Cameron coming in second, and Tony Faulkner from Menominee taking third.
Hey fans, need an electrical diagnosis or repair on your car? First Choice Mobile Repairs ASE certified mechanics can take care of that. 715-559-5219. First Choice Mobile Repairs makes house calls.
Hey John, we've got a pretty interesting looking heat coming up for the Super Stocks Heat B. Willie Johnson sitting on the pole, he's out of Superior. Then Wayne Dean from Eau Claire is on the outside of row 1. Don Musey from Ironwood, Michigan is inside row 2. Outside row 2, Tommy Richards, watch that car. That's car number 7R. He has been really impressive the last couple of weeks. Car number 20, Andrew Davis from Turtle Lake, is inside row 3. Outside row 3, Lucas Koski from New Richmond. And then Mike Seward from Rice Lake is in car number 21, bringing up the rear. But I'll tell you what, Tommy Richards is somebody nobody has really been able to keep up with in car number 7R.
And Rick, we got the one to go already. We're going to turn it over to track announcer Scott Teefs for the call of the race.
Laps and distance, Willie Johnson, Wayne Dean from row 1. Willie Johnson going to jump out front early. Wayne Dean going to battle with Tommy Richards here in the opening lap. Willie Johnson Jr. working upstairs, but here comes Mondovi, Wisconsin's Tommy Richards. Richards, a 6-time feature winner, working to the bottom, trying to steal the lead. We may have a new leader. Richards working to the inside. Willie Johnson upstairs. Tommy Richards, now your new leader. Willie Johnson going to stick with the outside. It's Wayne Dean. Lucas Koski now to 4th, and the battle continues for 5th. Tommy Richards started outside of the second row, trying to put some distance on Willie Johnson Jr. in the 18. Richards, Johnson, Koski having a great run now to 3rd. Davis and Muzzy coming together, and then Seward spinning it in the 21. And we are under caution here in the Heat 2 for your Wissota Super Stocks tonight. So I believe Andrew Davis will be charged with the caution in the 20 Don Muzzy has it refired. See if Mike Seward can get it refired. Seward throwing it sideways as he saw Muzzy and Davis coming together. Tommy Richards, your race leader in the 7R. Lucas Koski having a great run. The New Richmond, Wisconsin racer started 6th on the field. Looks like he will go from the inside of the second row as Johnson has elected to start to the outside. Wayne Dean, Don Muzzy gets Seward back into position. Looks like Mike may need some help from our Krug's Towing staff over there in turn 2. So 1 Wissota Pure Stock heat race up after this one. 2 very, very good Wissota modified heat races. 1 Hornet heat race right before the break. And once again, don't forget to buy those winning at 50-50 tickets. The girls continue to make their way through the grandstand. Don't even have to get up. They'll come right to you. Make sure you do that.
Well, John, we actually had 3 different cars involved in that. We had Andrew Davis, who's back up and running, but we're waiting to see, evidently, Mike Seward out of Rice Lake isn't going to be able to finish the heat. Hopefully they can get it ready so he can make an appearance in the feature.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting a wrecker hooked up to it now. He'll tow it to the pits and see what he can do about getting the car going. And Rick, one thing I want to point out right now is these laps that they are running are not counting towards the heat race.
Absolutely. And they also do a Delaware restart where the lead car is all by itself, and then they're in rows of 2 after that.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to point out, though, John, this is exactly what Ben was talking about in the show In the Pits. With all the chatter in turn 1, you bounce through there. It's real easy to lose control going into turn 2, and that's where we had those cars getting up close and personal. Let's put it this way, those cars did not practice social distancing.
No, they did not in this era of COVID-19. Now, Rick, we came out here a couple weeks ago and did some scouting, and we couldn't really see what Ben was talking about. Now that we're high atop our filming perch here, we can actually see this, what Ben is talking about.
It's kind of like a corduroy road down there, and so those cars, and you really see it in the mods when they do it, they just literally just bounce right through there.
Yeah, we've seen that in the warm-ups and the hot laps, and we'll see it a lot during the racing. You will definitely see it as cars get down to that inside lane there. And as you're looking down there, you'll see there's an embankment there right on the inside of the turn. And those cars, a lot of them are going to want to get as close to that as very possible. But in doing that, you're going to hit those almost rumble strips. And so as this car here, the car of Andrew Davis is being towed to the infield, Mike Seart, he is actually hanging out the driver's window, just taking a ride as he's getting towed into the infield, and we'll get this race back undergoing. They're going to give him the 1 to go, so we will turn it.
I thought I was on that because it was all pointed the same way.
And we'll turn it back to track announcer Scott Teefs for the remainder of the race.
Is it the 1 to go? Yes, it is the 1 to go, but they're still under caution. That'll drop out.
So 4 laps have been scored, 4 remain for Tommy Richards in the 7R. See if he can hang on, or it'll be Koski or Willie Johnson. Green flag waving again. Tommy Richards going to jump out front once again. Willie Johnson is there. Koski is still 3rd. Don Muzzy to 4th. Then it's Andrew Davis and Wayne Dean as laps wind down here in Heat 2 for your Super Stocks. Richards, Johnson, Koski, your first 3 remain the same. This time by white flag waving one more time for Tommy Richards. checkered flag waving high above the Eagle Valley Speedway for Tommy Richards. So there you have it. Third will go to the 1 of Lucas Koski, runner up to the 18 of Willie Johnson. And in the creative construction, Kelly Oil Well Drilling, Matco Tools, Scott's Engine Shop, West Metro, Endel's Customs, CarQuest of Mondovi, Champ Pans, Richards Repair, Pace Farms, TJR Machining of Oliva. He's a 6-time winner. He's out of Mondovi and 7R, Tommy Richards.
And I was telling you, John, Tommy Richards is the guy to watch. He has just pretty much been untouchable. He did not finish the feature last week, had some kind of problems, and to be honest with you, I can't remember what those problems were, but he made it most of the way through the race but didn't finish it. But that was the only reason he didn't win that. He has been untouchable.
And he's only 17 points off the lead. And I suspect that this race between him and Faulkner is going to be pretty good as we get into the feature. And we'll get more racing action as up next is going to be the Pure Stocks, and we'll have that right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing action on NLWN-TV.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
And race fans, we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We have our one and only heat race for the Pure Stocks coming up. I'll give you a quick rundown of how that's going to start. We've got on the pole position, number 1, Ryan Olson out of Ladysmith. On the outside of the front row, you have number 57, Brent Middock out of Princeton, Wisconsin. Second row, you got car 5R, George Richards out of Mondovi. At car 2B on the outside of Nicholas Hazelton out of Chippewa Falls. In the third row, you got car number 95F of Devin Fries out of Phillips, Wisconsin. On the outside of row 3, you have the 31 of Travis Hazelton out of Chippewa Falls. Row 4, you have the 23R of James Ron out of Hagen, Wisconsin. On the outside of row 4, you have the car number R44 of Patrick Smith out of Eau Claire. And on row 5, all by himself, in the 16, you have Rob Grabon out of Bruce, Wisconsin. Rick, these guys have a lot of fun out here.
Well, they're the Pure Stocks, and these are guys that put the car together, and they just have a great time with this.
And you get a little bit of a mix of guys out here. You get guys that go and buy an old car and fix it up and bring it out to the racetrack, and then you have a few guys that build cars from the ground up. And we'll get a full rundown of how that turns out here in a minute. We're looking like we're gonna get. We're probably gonna have one more lap of caution here before we turn it over to the track announcer.
Yeah, they're still gonna run under the caution for a minute or two yet, but. This, to be honest with you, John, this is where sometimes the real exciting stuff happens.
This is the type of stuff is where racing began. People take an old car, they soup it up and see how fast they can go. Goes way back to the days of moonshine and is actually the heritage of racing. And we're getting the lineup going. I suspect we're going to have Brownie giving the 1-to-go signal down there on the track. That is appearing to be what's going to happen, so we're going to turn it over to Scott Tiff, and he's going to give you the call of the race.
So here we go with your one Pure Stock Heat race tonight. Ryan Olson, Brent Mindock. From row 1, George Richards and Nicholas Hazelton, Devin Fries, Travis Hazelton, James Ron, Pat Smith, Rob Grabon. Here we go. Ryan Olson, Brent Mindock going to go door to door as they drive down the back straightaway. George Richards is there in the 5R as Olson and Mindock continue to go door to door. Ryan Olson, Brent Mindock continue to circle the Eagle Valley Speedway side by side. George Richards looking for an opening, and a pair of Hazeltons battle for fourth. Ryan Olson now with the advantage over Brent Mindock. Travis Hazelton working through the middle of the speedway in the 31. Olson, Mindock, Richards, Hazelton. That's Travis in the 31. And then Nicholas in the 2B, rounding out your first 5. Ryan Olson trying to hang on. Brent Mindock going to work to the outside. Richards and Hazelton are there. Rob Graybon going to work to the inside of Nicholas Hazelton as they battle. Brent Mindock now your leader in 57. Brent Mindock, Ryan Olson, Hazelton and Richards go door to door, and Rob Graybon now 5th in the 16. Laps winding down for Brent Mindock. Here comes Ryan Olson back to the inside. Rob Graybon working to the outside of Ryan Olson. Graybon started 9th on the field. See if he can steal it from Brent Mindock. He's working to the outside of Ryan Olson this time by white flag waving. Brent Mindock trying to hang on. Ryan Olson spinning in the 1. And the caution lights will blink on. So that one will finish under caution. So Ryan Olson will be charged with the caution. 3rd will go to the 5R of George Richards, runner up to the 16 of Rob Graybon. And in the BC Auto Repair, BC Hot Shots, Chuck's Little Station, Fidelity Insurance, Ross's Sports Shop, Glass to Go, and Norwex. He's out of Prentice. Your winner at 57, Brent Mindock.
And what a race was that?
That was tight from green to checker. And unfortunately, it finished under a caution, but which is actually very unusual in this situation that they finish under the caution. But they had already been given the white flag. They were halfway around the track, and the spin out occurred behind the traffic. So they let them go ahead and finish the race.
And we're getting ready to go to the next.
I'll tell you what, when we get ready for the Wissota Modifieds, football fans, mark your calendars for Saturday, August 1st, because NLWN-TV is slated to bring you live Cowboy semi-pro football. The Cowboys will either be traveling over to Green Bay to take on the Brown County Blackjacks, or they'll be hosting the Marshfield Bandits. The opponents and starting times that's all going to be determined by field availability. So we have the Wissota Modifieds, John, 2 heats.
Yes, we have 2 heats. In the first heat, we got number 93, Mike Knops out of Chippewa Falls, starting on the pole on the outside of the front row. We got number 20, Denny Cutsford out of Rice Lake on the second row inside. You got car 38 of Zach Gibson out of Chippewa Falls. On the outside of row 2, number 14, W. Clayton Wigham out of Ramsey, Minnesota. In row 3 on the inside, you got number 33, Cooper Berlin out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin.
Mike Knopp's going to jump out front early. Denny Cutsforth is there. Wagaman going to work to the outside. Mike Anderson going to work to the inside of Zach Gibson here in the opening lap. Mike Knops, your pole sitter, continues to lead, but how about Mike Anderson? Keep an eye on Anderson as he works underneath Cutsforth. Going to try and take second. Going to try and bring Wagaman along with him in the 14W. Mike Knops, Mike Anderson, Denny Cutsforth, Clayton Wagaman, and then the 21 of Jake Smith, your first 5.
5
Mike Knobs continues to lead, but Mike Anderson is closing. Knobs, Anderson cuts fourth. Jake Smith now to fourth, Wagaman back to fifth, and it's Kyle Helling, Zach Gibson into 33 of Cooper Berlin. Mike Knobs continues to show the way. Mike Anderson going to change his lines and work to the outside as well. Laps winding down now for Mike Knobs in 93. This time by white flag waving one more time for Mike Knobs. Final trip around the Eagle Valley Speedway for Mike Knobs. Mike Anderson within striking distance. Anderson going to give it one more shot, but off at turn 4, checkered flag waving for Mike Knobs in 93. So there you have it. Third, we'll go to the 21 of Jake Smith.
So, John, we have Jake Smith coming in third from Chippewa Falls, but another Chippewa Falls native wins that heat, Mike Knobs. And Mike Anderson from Jim Falls comes in second. And you could almost see from the get-go that was either going to be Knobs or Anderson. Just by the way Anderson was moving through traffic, he just ran out of laps.
Yeah, he really did. He started so far back, and he just didn't have enough time to catch up to Knobs, and he was closing on him, and it just ended up being too long. And we're already getting ready for the second heat. But hey fans, your car need a jump start? Call First Choice Mobile Repair to take care of the problem. 715-559-5219. First Choice Mobile Repairs makes house calls.
And John, coming up in that second heat, or Heat B of the Wissota Modifieds, Kurt Myers has the pole position out of Cameron. And they've got one lap to go. Jeff Tardy from Hibbing, Minnesota is on the outside. Mark Hansen on the inside of 2. Mike Truscott outside of row 2. And let's turn over to Scott Teef.
Solid Transport and Log Works in 11. That should be Sam Fankhauser. Final row to the inside out of Eau Claire, the Muffler Shop Auto Repair. Tim's Automotive Machine and Nyhus Erectors 27H. That should be Steve Hallquist. And the final driver on the field out of Bloomer, the Tim's Automotive Machine, Bloomer Septic 92. That should be Scott DeVall. Mark Hansen, Kurt Myers going to battle here in the opening lap. Myers will be scored your early race leader. Myers way up top in the 1M. Mark Hansen working downstairs, and it's Truscott in the 67 of Jeff Tardy. Kurt Myers continues to work the outside of the Eagle Valley Speedway. Mark Hansen right down on the inside, and Michael Truscott is closing in 22T. Great battle out front, Myers, Hansen, and Truscott. Tardy to fourth. Sam Fankhauser going to battle with the 13 of Nick Kaler. Mark Hansen now with the slight advantage over Kurt Myers. Hansen, Myers, Truscott. Hansen going to slide up in front of Myers. We got a new leader in 18. Mark Hansen and Kurt Myers continue to go at it. Michael Truscott going to join the party. Laps winding down now for your leader, Mark Hansen in 18. Hansen, Myers, Truscott, your first three. This time by white flag waving one more time for Mark Hansen. Myers now going to have to battle with the 22T of Michael Truscott. Mark Hansen comfortably down the back straightaway continues to lead. Hansen up on the cushion into turn 3, off of turn 4. Your winner will be Mark Hansen in 18. So there you have it, race fans. Third will go to the 22T of Michael Truscott. Runner up to the 1M of Kurt Myers, and in the Valley Septic Service, Powder Plus, MB Customs, CMD Race Shocks, Coors Light, Kevin Knudsen Fabricating, Hickory Hills, Champ Pans, and Chippewa Auto Body, and KNG. He's out of Chippewa Falls, your winner in 18, Mark Hansen.
And Rick, Mark Hansen took the lead pretty early there and didn't really look back.
Well, Myers held the lead for about halfway through that race, but Hansen kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. Finally got the lead, and then it was basically stretch it out a little bit and ride it home.
Yeah, fans, after this, we'll have the Hornets heat race, and we'll have all that right after this pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
It's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
Fans, we're back with you for the Hornet heat race, and they have already gotten the one to go. We're going to turn it right over to track announcer Scott Teefs.
Gibbs Affordable Septic 221. That should be Danny Halterman. Final row to the inside. She is out of Durand to the J&R Auto 4C. That should be Jocelyn Carruthers. And the final starter on the field out of Mondovi, the White Pig Tavern, Buck Country Construction in 20. That should be Brandon Glider. Derek Crumry going to jump out front early in the 33. Levi Price and Jeremy Johnson will settle in behind them here in the opening lap. Derek Crumry will lead early here in the 33. Derek Crumry started inside of row 1 and has stayed there as he tries to run away and hide Jeremy Johnson to second. Brandon Glider having a great run after starting 8th on the field, now to 3rd. Then it's Danny Halterman in a battle for 4th. Crumry, Jeremy Johnson, Brandon Glider, Danny Halterman. Cooper, Levi Price, Cooper, and Jocelyn Carruthers. That is your field here in our one Hornet heat race tonight. Laps winding down now for Eau Claire, Wisconsin's Derek Crumry in 33. Crumry, Johnson, Glider, Danny Halterman, Roy Cooper, Levi Price, Scott Cooper, and Jocelyn Carruthers. White flag waving this time by for Derek Crumry. Derek Crumry for the final time around the Eagle Valley Speedway. Off at turn 4, checkered flag waving high in the air for Derek Crumry in 33. So there you have it. He started 8th on the field. He'll come home 3rd in the 20. That should be Brandon Glider. Runner up to the 9-17 of Jeremy Johnson. And in the Rick's Auto Care Center, Sport Rider, the Diesel Repair Shop, Steve's Hillcrest Truck and Auto, Avalon Septic, Rowan Enterprises, Maya's Customs, Hot a While Bar, Conrad's Auto Salvage, Snap-On by Casey Faulkner, Don Sheet Metal, Outlaw Auto Sales, Roto-Rooter, PWS, Pressure Washer Services, and Circle C Gas Station. He's out of Eau Claire, your winner in 33, Derek Crumrye.
And
Okay, yeah, go ahead, John.
And Rick, Derek Crumrye started on the pole, didn't look back.
No, he didn't. He just kept pulling away, and then as the track announcer said, as Scott said, Brandon Glider started in 8th position and worked his way up to take 2nd. And had he started in a better starting position, I think he could have challenged Derek Crumrye, but nobody was going to touch Derek in this race tonight.
Yeah, and Rick, we've got the points sitting in front of us. We have Jocelyn Carruthers sitting in 3rd in points, and sitting right behind her is the 76 car of Jake Halterman, who is actually not even here tonight. Which is, you look out there and you see Jocelyn riding the tail of the field, but she's showing up every week and
That's
she's
where
racing.
she's getting her points.
Yeah, and you got to have a lot of respect for that. In a car that may not be so competitive, she comes out every week and puts in the work, and that's how you become a good car.
That's right, and that's how you become a good driver as well. Well, John, that gets us to the intermission. We've got feature races coming up right after the intermission, but we're going to take a bit of a break here so we can stretch our legs and make use of all the facilities here at our very nice Eagle Valley Speedway. So we have intermission coming up, and stick with us. We will have feature races right after this intermission break. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
It's intermission time and you're watching Classic Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV. Classic Wissota Racing Action is being brought to you by Rock Solid Transport. Whatever you need to haul, Rock Solid Transport can help you get it there. And Rookie's Pub in Chippewa Falls, where you can watch the races with racers. Stay tuned, we have more Classic Wissota Racing Action coming up soon.
Rookie's Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls has been newly remodeled. They have happy hour Monday, Thursday until 6 p.m. There's free pool Mondays and Tuesdays, and a free jukebox on Tuesdays. Don't forget, Rookies has a DJ every Friday and Saturday night. Stop by and check out Rookie's Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls. Don't forget, at Rookies you can watch the races with racers.
Rock Solid Transport, ready to move your product. Whether it's produce to seafood, or building materials to general freight, Rock Solid hauls it all. If you need a flatbed, pneumatic, or refrigerated shipment, Rock Solid is ready to meet your needs. Call Rock Solid Transport at 715-874-7625 and let Rock Solid Transport get your product where it needs to go.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. We're going to get the Street Stocks feature going underway here in just a second. We'll give you a quick lineup on the 15-car field. Starting on the inside of row number 1 is car number 14, Corey Richard out of Rice Lake.
And right outside of Richter is car number 1R, Cole Richards from Mondovi.
And starting on the inside of row 2 is car 2D, Dalton Hazelton out of New Auburn, Wisconsin.
Then Danny Richards from Mondovi is outside on row 2, car 3R.
Starting on the inside of row 3 is car number 24, James Clausen out of Barron, Wisconsin.
Travis Lowe is sitting right outside of him from Barron. He's driving car 40.
On the inside of row 4 is the 42K of Mike Knutson out of Osseo, Wisconsin.
Medford's Cody Coomer is in car number 12 on the outside of row 4.
On the inside of row 5 is the 3J of Jarrett Linder out of Greenwood, Wisconsin.
Then car number 84 is being driven by Hunter Van Gilder from Rice Lake.
On the inside of row 6, you got the 26 of Ty Agent out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
71H is being driven by Ron Hainstead from Glenwood Cities on the outside of row 6.
On the inside of row 7 is Adam Saltus out of Ladysmith, Wisconsin.
And he's in car number 9, and car number 7 is Caden Engel from Bruce, Wisconsin.
And rounding out this feature is the 7L of Shane Lindstedt out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
That's 15 cars all together in this feature for the street stocks. And I would say keep a close eye on car number 3R, Danny Richards from Mondovi. He's had some pretty good runs the last couple weeks. He came really close in second place in the heat race. And Cody Coomer is another one to watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not forget about Mr. Coomer, the points leader in this division.
He's got a little traffic he's going to have to come through being outside on row 4, but he's got what it takes to do that, and this is a little bit longer race, 15 laps, and so it's about twice as long as the heat, so he may have enough time to make something happen.
Yeah, so as we sit here and look, on the outside of row 4, again, is Cody Coomer. On the outside of row number 2 is going to be Danny Richards, and that's your top 2 in points in this division. I do fail to see our third place points race of Parker Anderson here today, Rick.
Right, he was not in one of the heat races, so he wouldn't be here in the feature.
But the fourth place guy in points, a rookie out of Mondovi, Wisconsin, Cole Richards, is starting on the outside of the front row. It's going to be interesting to see how this all folds out. We should be getting the 1 to go here.
Now that was the 2 to go.
We'll be getting the 1 to go here the next time by, and we will send it up to the track announcer,
Scott Teefs.
And
he came by to check up on us during the intermission, and he's been very helpful for us and adding his dulcet tones to the call of the race.
And I'd like to thank everybody at the Eagle Valley Speedway for their hospitality tonight as we are taking a learning experience.
And we have the 1 to go, so let's send it over to Scott.
Search NLWN-TV, and you'll be able to watch tonight's racing program. So caution lights will be dropping down around the speedway. 15 laps. Corey Richter and Cole Richards. Dalton Hazelton and Danny Richards. James Clausen, Travis Lowe, your first 3 rows. 15 laps, green flag waving this time by. Cole Richards will lead early in the 1R. Danny Richards and the 40 of Travis Lowe to follow. Richards, Lowe, Richter, and Hazelton. Mike Knutson in the 42K. Cody Coomer going to work to the outside of the 12. Great battle here, early street stock A main. Danny Richards, Travis Lowe, Cole Richards, Corey Richter. Dalton Hazelton, Mike Knutson, and Cody Coomer trying to go 3 wide. Danny Richards looking for his 3rd feature win of the year. Travis Lowe looking for his first as Richter battles with Knutson and Coomer. eye on Mike Knudsen and Cody Coomer as they work their way to the front. Danny Richards continues to lead Travis Lowe. Coomer and Mike Knudsen continue to battle for third. Richards, followed by the 40 of Travis Lowe. Lowe's got company now in Cody Coomer. Coomer going to look to the inside of the 40. Danny Richards trying to stretch it on Cody Coomer. Travis Lowe is still third. Mike Knudsen going to battle with the 2D of Dalton Hazelton. Danny Richards continues to lead, but Cody Coomer is closing. Dalton Hazelton now the third, going to try and bring Mike Knudsen along in the 42K. Travis Lowe may have a tire going down. Keep an eye on that 40. Cody Coomer has tracked down your leader, Danny Richards. Coomer started 8th on the field. Richards started 4th. As they continue to go at it out front here at the Eagle Valley Speedway in our Street Stock A main. Travis Lowe slowed on the back straightaway. He'll try and limp off into the pits. Hopefully we can stay green here in our Street Stock feature. Danny Richards has got company in Cody Coomer. Coomer going to look to the inside of Richards. Richards, Coomer, Dalton Hazelton, your first three. Mike Knudsen is 4th. Hunter Van Gilder continues to battle with Cole Richards for 5th. Look out over on the back straightaway, the 26 of Ty Agin. And we are under caution here. Danny Richards, Cody Coomer had put some distance on Dalton Hazelton and the rest of the field. Ty Agin spinning over there in turn 2 to bring out the caution. So 12 laps have been scored, 3 remain for Danny Richards. Richards looking for his 3rd feature win of the year. Cody Coomer trying to get his 5th. Dalton Hazelton looking for his 1st. Mike Knudsen, along with the 1R of Cole Richards, also looking for their 1st feature wins of the year. Then it's Hunter Van Gilder in the 84, Corey Richter, Adam Saltis, Jared Linder. Then it's Caden Engel in the 7. Hannestead in the 71H, James Clausen, Shane Linseth, and Ty Agin charged with the caution. He'll drop to the back of the field. So 12 laps in, 3 to go. See if Danny Richards can hang on in that 3R. So as I mentioned, Richards started outside of the 2nd row. Cody Coomer started outside of row 4. Dalton Hazelton started inside of the 2nd row. That is your first 2 rows. 12 down, 3 to go for Danny Richards in 3R. Richards, Coomer, Dalton Hazelton back in the mix. Look out down the back straightaway. Coomer and Richards had some contact. Dalton Hazelton was there. Here comes Mike Knudsen in the 42K. Danny Richards coming together with Cody Coomer. And we got them stacked up over in turn 2. So we will sort things out here in our Street Stock A main.
Well, fans, that was a very interesting restart as the field kind of piled up coming out of turn 2. It took out, what, 4 cars, Rick?
About 4 cars, and one of them was Cody Coomer, who was challenging for the lead. And he and Danny Richards were kind of bumping and rubbing, but rubbing's racing.
Yeah, exactly. What Danny Richards and Cody Coomer were doing was nothing wrong. They were racing.
That's right, although there was a little bumping and grinding. Corey Richter is getting a little boost off the track there. You can see his car was not in very good shape after that up-close and personal encounter that they had. And red number 7, Caden Engel, lost a rear bumper on it. Cody Coomer is still out on the track.
It does appear that he's going to last as if he's being charged with the caution, Rick.
I think that's probably what's happening. A lot of steam coming out of the 14 as they're pushing it off the track.
And they just got the 1 to go, so we're going to send it back
to Scott Teefs.
So we are going to readjust the field. I am being told Danny Richards and Cody Coomer will both be sent to the tail of the field. So it looks like Mike Knutson will now be out front in that 42K. Dalton Hazelton in the 84 of Hunter Van Gilder from the second row. Cole Richards and Adam Saltis from row 3. Saltis started inside of row 7 in the 9. How about the run for the Ladies with Wisconsin driver? So 12 laps have been scored, 3 remain. So 12 laps in, 3 to go. Richards will tag on to the back of the field along with Cody Coomer. And Mike Knutson finds himself out front in the 42K. Knutson started 7th on the field. See if he can get his first of the year. Dalton Hazelton, Hunter Van Gilder in the 84. Van Gilder started 10th on the field. Keep an eye on him from the outside of the second row. Knutson and Van Gilder going to drag race down the back straightaway. Dalton Hazelton is there. Cole Richards and Adam Saltis will go door to door. This time by white flag waving one more time for Mike Knutson and Hunter Van Gilder. Knutson and Van Gilder down the back straightaway for the final time. Mike Knutson, Hunter Van Gilder, both looking for their first of the year off at turn 4. Checkered flag waving for Mike Knutson. Well, there you have it, race fans. Third will go to the 2D of Dalton Hazelton. Runner-up to the 84 of Hunter Van Gilder. And in the Burleyan Bucks, Pure Romance, Oyan Blacktop, Eagle Construction, Greg Labursky Construction, Gray Construction, Osseow Chiropractic, Putz, Chuck and Beardo, Kent's Lawn Care, and Drop Zone Septic and Portables. He's out of Osseow, your winner at 42K, Mike Knutson.
Well, John, in our feature race for the street stocks, there was more action in that than we'd seen all night.
That's more action than I seen out here a couple weeks ago when we came out to scout.
Well, that's the first time. I mean, it's not the first time it's happened, but it's not real common. You see the two leaders who have been battling it out take each other out and have to go to the back of the track or back of the pack to try to work their way up and leave it wide open for a guy like Mike Knutson out of Osseow, who got himself the win. We're gonna go down to Victory Lane in just a minute here, and when Brownie does his talking down there in Victory Lane, but we're waiting for Mike Knutson to come around and do that. Meanwhile, our next equestrian event to be aired on NLWN-TV will be on Tuesday, August 4th, when we broadcast the Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire. It'll be recorded on August 2nd. Once again, that's the Open Equestrian Games from Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire on Tuesday, August 4th, beginning at 6 o'clock right here on NLWN-TV. And we're going to send it down to Brownie in Victory Lane as he's going to talk to Mike Knutson.
Mike here last week, he's sitting up in the stands and he goes, "No, I'm not going to race this year." He says, "I'm just going to take it easy." And when he come in tonight, I go, "What are you doing racing?" He goes, "I don't know, I just want to race," he says. But
I didn't mean to get in that corner. I had nowhere to go. I'm sorry about that.
so he's going to get a little water bath because this is what we do for first time winner here at Eagle Valley Speedway. So in the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane here at Eagle Valley Speedway, give it up for the 42K of Mike Knutson. Woo!
How'd have drank that?
He want one?
I'll take one.
Jerry, grab me a water out of there. I'll get you one. Hey, I tell you what, that was one heck of a race. I tell you, I got to get him a water. He says, "Woo! There you go. There's water for you." That was one heck of a race. You know, tough luck for some other guys and good luck for you. You're just sitting, like I said, you were just sitting up in the stands here last week, and I said, "You going to race?" "No, I'm not going to race. I'm just going to sit back, relax." What a race car.
Oh, I had a third or fourth place car. I mean, I'll take luck. I seen them guys tango, and I'm like, hey, I got a shot at this, and just got lucky, but that takes half of it. So, and the car's still missing, so I'll take it.
What did I tell you?
Well, I'll tell you what, though, you're a good race car driver. You used to win out here all the time. You kind of left this last year, came back, and you're a winner. I want to see you out here every Friday night at Eagle Valley Speedway, and I want to see this car on Victory Lane.
Well, the honest truth, I got 3 kids, which they're not playing sports right now because of stupid COVID, but money's the issue. You give me money, I'll come every weekend.
Oh, we'll see what we can work out. How about a gang? We can pitch in some money, get this guy some tires? Huh?
Oh.
All right.
I really got to thank Drop Zone Septic. He paid for my Wissota license, been a sponsor of mine. And Dave Kent gave me money for fuel and some other things. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And then also got to thank Jack Baxter for letting me carry my bill over from last year yet. I owe him some money yet.
Well, if you need some money for gas for next week, tell you what I'll do. I will, in front of all these people, I'll pay for your gas. How's that sound?
Hey, one more. My daughter and family do a lot. My daughter washes the tires. They help get everything ready. And then Jordan Johnson's one of the best pit guys there is, and my cousin Pat, who's got some body work to do.
How much money do you need for gas?
We got enough to get home.
All right, well, if not, you let me know, and I'll tell you what, I'll pay for it.
We just won.
There you go. All right, this is the man right here. Give it up for the 42K, Mike Knutson, our feature winner here tonight at Eagle Valley Speedway in the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane. Back to you, Scott.
Congratulations to Mike Knutson.
And Mike Knutson there sounds really happy to get a victory after not expecting to race all year.
And John, that was a great race.
Oh my
for
goodness.
the street stocks, and what a way to start the features. And we've got another feature coming up in just a minute. We have the Midwest Modifieds, and we'll do that right after this pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
All right, we're back with you here. We're getting ready for the Midwest Modifieds. We're going to start out on the inside of row 1 being the 18S of Kennedy Swan from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Then we have Kent Baxter out of Colfax outside row 1.
On the second row, on the inside, number 80, Derek Haas from Thorpe.
Then New Auburn's Jake Stye driving car number 1 on the outside.
And row 3, you got the 23 Double D of George Dahlbeck from Wakefield, Michigan.
Then car number 24, Dylan Gadel from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
On the inside of row 4, you got the 21J of Josh Smith out of Fall Creek.
Then Shane Halapka from Glenwood City. Or sorry, check that, Greenwood. It's getting dark up here. He's in car 3 JR. He's a feature winner in the past couple of weeks.
On the inside of row 5, we got the 7W of Dan Larson Jr. out of Eau Claire.
Then the 6S of Steve Haas from Elk Mound is on the outside.
On the inside of row 6, the 12 of Craig Haas out of Thorpe.
And then car 68, Shadow Kitchener from Arkansas, Wisconsin.
Row 7, we have the number 8 of Brian Pretzman out of Cadott.
And then on the outside is 13M Cole Mueller from Chippewa Falls.
Row 8, we got the 19 of David Matson out of Amory.
And 19P Antonio Pintero from Osseo.
And the lone starter in row 9, the 24P of
Lou Puzio from Chippewa Falls, and they're on the 1 to go, so they're coming around for a good start. So let's turn it back over to Scott.
The 13-year-old rookie out of Chippewa Falls going to lead this field to the green flag, and Kent Baxter to the outside. Derek Haas, Jake Stide, George Dahlbeck, Dylan Gadel, Josh Smith, and Shane Halupka, Dan Larson Jr., Steve Haas, your first 5 rows. Getting set to do it, 20 laps, green flag waving. Kennedy Swan, Kent Baxter going to race door to door as they circle the Eagle Valley Speedway. Here are the opening laps. Derek Haas and Jake Stye will do the same. Baxter, Swan, Derek Haas and Jake Stye. Dylan Gadel and George Dahlbeck. Jake Stye going to work to the outside of Kent Baxter. How about the 1? We got a new leader in Jake Stye. Jake Stye started outside of the second row and trying to put some distance on Derek Haas, but here comes 7-time winner Shane Halupka. Halupka going to work to the outside of Derek Haas as they battle behind New Auburn, Wisconsin racer Jake Stye in 1. Stye, Halupka, Derek Haas, Dylan Gadel, and Kent Baxter, your first 5. George Dahlbeck in the 23 Double D, and then it's the 21J of Josh Smith. Jake Stye looking for his first in the 1. Shane Halupka looking for his 8th on the year, and then it's Derek Haas looking for his 2nd. That is your first 3 here in our Midwest Modified A main. Shane Halupka now will drive to the inside of Jake Stye. They will circle the Eagle Valley Speedway side by side. Kennedy Swan off the pace in the 18, and the caution lights will blink on. So under caution for Kennedy Swan, very slow on the back straightaway, and coming to a stop over in turn 2. Jake Stye battling with the 3 junior of Shane Holupka. Derek Haas is there in the 80, then it's the 24 of Dylan Gadel. And George Dahlback in the 23 Double D. Kent Baxter in the 95X. So 7 laps have been scored for Jake Stye, 13 remain. Swan's going to need some assistance of Krug's Towing to get back to her trailer. Your pole sitter's night comes to an end. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give away some money. 400.
Okay, so we are still under caution.
And right there before the caution there, obviously the 18, he's a 13-year-old kid, Rick.
Yeah, and actually driving very well for a 13-year-old kid.
Well, as we were saying, just before the caution, Shane Holupka had actually caught race leader there.
Stye.
Yeah, Stye. And had actually had him in turn 3 and 4, but they race around, or the timing line is the start-finish line. So Stye keeps the lead because they did not make it back to the start-finish line.
And for Kennedy Swan, this message kind of goes out to you. If you've got a small engine that needs repair, well, I guess these aren't really small engines, but if you've got an engine that needs repair, call First Choice Mobile Repair to take care of that problem. 715-559-5219. First Choice Mobile Repair makes house calls. I don't know if they make track calls, but they do make house calls, and so if you've got something that needs work on it.
I suspect somebody working within that company might be willing to make a track call.
As I know him pretty well, too, and I think you might be right about that.
You say they're not small engines, but I'm pretty sure they're small blocks.
Yeah, that may be true.
So
they're giving Kennedy Swan a tow off the track now.
And the field's going to get probably the one to go next time by.
Well, they're going to have to go all the way around the track to get him off, so I think it's going to be a couple of laps before we do. Oh, no, they're going to take him out the inn. Nothing like going out the indoor.
Yeah, and then there's another tow truck still sitting on the track, so it's going to be another lap, I suspect. We'll kind of keep an eye on the flagman and see what he decides to do.
And again, a reminder on these Delaware restarts, the leader is all by himself out front. Then the second place driver has his choice of inside or outside on that second row. And then the rest of them are lined up by the starters.
And definitely keep an eye on Holupka. He's going to make a run for that lead right off the restart. So maybe we see a restart like the last feature there, Rick.
That got kind of exciting.
And they have the one to go, so we're going to send it back over to Scott for the call of the race.
So Jake Stye, the Stye Farms 1. Shane Holupka inside of the second row in the Holupka equipment sponsored at 3 junior. And then his outside, Derek Haas and the Haas & Sons Incorporated 80 of first 2 rows. 7 laps have been scored, 13 remain for Jake Stye in 1. Stye will jump out front once again. Holupka, Derek Haas, Dylan Gadel now all going to battle for second. Jake Stye continues to lead Holupka back to the top in 3 junior. How about the 23 Double D of George Dahlback? Dahlback just drove between Dylan Gadel and Derek Haas in the 80. Jake Stye trying to hang on. Derek Haas spinning an 80. And the caution flag will wave here once again in our Midwest Modified A-Main.
Now, Rick, I didn't get a chance to see this wreck as I was kind of watching Shane Holubka trying to catch race leader Sty there. Did you catch what happened?
Well, basically, this is another example of the chatter in turn 1 sets up wrecks in turn 2. And we've got 4 cars that were involved. We have the number 80. As I scan over, that's Derek Haas.
I see the number 6 of Steve Haas out of Elk Mound driving away.
And there's a glare on the other 2 cars. I can't read their numbers.
We'll catch them as they come back around.
We have a number 19. That's 19P, Antonio Patero out of Osseo.
Who also had a spin in his heat race.
I'm going to catch the other guy as he comes by here. 68. That's Shadow Kitchener.
And then also the 24 was Gadel was in the back there. I'm not sure. Yeah, Gadel
I don't think he was involved in the mess.
So
they danced their way around the wrecker who's trying to find his way off the track.
Now
that's kind of like being on the freeway in the outside lane, discovering you need to exit at the next exit.
Yeah, that's not any fun. We're gonna get the one to go the next time by, but Shane Holubka kind of got left in the dirt there a little bit. He did maintain second, so let's see how he progresses this restart.
Okay, we're going to turn it back over to Scott.
Shane Holubka and George Dahlback now from that second row. Dylan Gadel and the 21J of Josh Smith, your first 3 rows. 9 laps in, 11 remain for Jake Sty in 1. Jake Sty continues to lead, but under a lot of pressure from the 23 Double D of George Dahlback. Here comes Holubka. Sty trying to hold off George Dahlback and the 3 junior of Shane Holubka. Sty up the racetrack. Here comes Holubka again to the inside. George Dahlback working to the outside of Jake Sty. Holubka going to drive to the inside. Sty, Holubka, George Dahlback, we got a new leader in 3 junior. Shane Holubka now trying to stretch it on Jake Sty as George Dahlback tries to work underneath the 1. Then it's Josh Smith in the 21J. Holubka, Jake Sty, George Dahlback, Josh Smith, Dylan Gadel, your first 5. Shane Holubka trying to park it in victory lane for the 8th time this year in 3 junior. Holubka from outside of row 4 continues to stretch it. Jake Sty still second, as George Dahlback will battle with Josh Smith, and then it's Dylan Gadel in the 24. Shane Holubka just cruising out front in 3 junior. Holubka continues to put distance on Jake Sty as he continues to battle with George Dahlback in the 23 Double D. Dahlback now to the outside of Jake Sty. He'll try and track down Shane Holubka. Josh Smith still working to the outside of the 21J. Dylan Gadel still 5th in the 24. This time by white flag waving one more time for Shane Holupka. Holupka with lap traffic in front of him down the back straightaway. Lou Puzio right in front of your leader, but no problem off at turn 4. Your winner will be Shane Holupka. So there you have it. Third will go to the 1 of Jake Stye. Runner-up to the 23 Double D of George Dahlbach. And in the Tim's Automotive Machine, Stye Farms, Cougs Towing, MB Customs, Outlaw Wraps and Apparel, CMD Race Shocks, Fastenal, Thorns Garage, Baxter's Speed Shop, Ella Blue Salon, Grassland Dairy, Pack Knife Sales, and Holupka Equipment, getting his 8th feature win of the year, the 222nd of his career. He's out of Greenwood in 3, Junior Shane Holupka.
And there we have the Midwest Mods feature race. Shane Holupka coming away with a win. He had to work his way through some traffic to finally take that lead.
Absolutely. Holupka, he in that first run there, he made a really good move up the field and got to third and then took second. And then that restart off of the first caution, he kind of missed his marks going into turn 1 and lost his momentum and got the second caution flag, although I think he still would have caught the leader there, Stye. He got an even better opportunity to catch him, and you notice the 23 Double D was up there racing with them, and he missed his marks coming out of 3 and 4 and fell back and had to come back to get third.
And those are all pretty familiar names, and we have Shane Holupka going into victory lane, and so we're going to send it down to Brownie as he's going to talk to Shane Holupka down there as Shane gets the victory.
Yes, indeed. The man of the hour. I'll tell you, this guy's unbelievable. In the Haas Incorporated victory lane here at Eagle Valley Speedway on Friday night. Give it up for the 3 junior of Shane Holupka. Shane, I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, this got to be a lot of fun for you.
It is. We got everything really rolling really good this year. Got to thank my wife for her support, my mom and dad for the time they put in on it and dragging it around for me. So can't do it without them.
Well, I'll tell you what, this car is you're just smooth. I mean, I was talking to your dad earlier tonight, and when he first came in, and I said, the car and you guys are both a perfect fit.
Yeah, it's really coming into my driving style right now, and just got to keep it smooth and see what we can do this fall.
Well, I'll tell you what, your dad says hopefully we can just keep this thing going and have some fun and have a good year for a change.
Yeah, we've had a good year and keep the momentum on our side, and it's a lot easier. So,
anything else you want to add?
I got to thank Jake Stye from Stye Farms, Tim from Tim's Automotive, Holupka Equipment, Pack Knives. I got a few friends here tonight, I think. MB Customs, Mark Girth, all them guys are great.
I'll tell you what, congratulations, appreciate it. And we got to thank one more person.
Yeah, I forget to thank one person all the time. It's Kurt and Leah from Elwood Express. I get to sit up in their booth every Saturday night, and I keep forgetting to thank them. So this one's for these guys right here because they're awesome, and go shake their hand.
Well, thank you for coming out to Eagle Valley Speedway. You, your mom and dad, your wife, and everybody, congratulations.
Thank you.
Give it up for the 3 junior, Shane Holupka, our feature winner tonight in a Haas Incorporated victory lane. Back to you, Scott.
And back to us up here in our NLWN-TV booth. And so, John, that takes care of the Midwest Mods.
Yep. And
coming up next is, you had some information on the Midwest Mods.
Yeah, and Shane Holupka is going to extend his points lead in the Midwest Mods. We'll get more into that in the pits here next week, giving you a firm update. He was up by 86, and that will go up because Derek Haas did not, I don't believe, even finished in the top 5.
I didn't have him in my list, but I only went down 4. So
yep. But we'll have the super stocks for you right after this pit stop on NLWN-TV.
My graduation was something I will never forget. People like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. More Wissota Racing action coming up. We got the Super Stocks heading onto the track right now. Rick and I are going to give you a rundown of the starting order, and starting on the inside of row 1 in the first position is car number 1, Lucas Koski, out of New Richmond, Wisconsin.
And then Doug Koski is right outside him. He's from Chisholm, Minnesota, car 76.
In row 2 on the inside is the 27 of Tony Faulkner out of Menominee.
And then watch out for this one. I think they're going to have a hard time keeping him back. 7R, Tommy Richards from Mondovi.
And in the inside of row 3, we got the 22T of Taryn Spacek, excuse me.
And then Taryn's out of Phillips. Then the 1X right outside is Don Muzzy from Ironwood, Michigan.
On the inside of row 4, you have the 18 of Willie Johnson Jr. out of Superior.
And then the 1M car of Kurt Myers is right outside him. He's from Cameron, Wisconsin.
The inside of row 5, you have number 2, Bart Steffen out of Eau Claire.
And then Eau Claire's Wayne Dean in car 17 is right outside.
In the inside of row 6, the 1E out of Ladysmith, Wisconsin, Eric Olson.
And then on the outside of row 6, car number 20, Andrew Davis from Turtle Lake, Wisconsin.
On the inside of row 7, you have the 93, C.J. Wagner out of Rice Lake.
And then car number 10, Joe Miller from New Richmond.
And rounding out the field, in number 21, Mike Sewart out of Rice Lake.
There's 15 cars all together in this super stock as they're taking some preparatory laps. These, of course, are the cars with all the power in them.
And they should be putting on a phenomenal race. If I remember correctly, they were some of the most entertaining races during the heat races, and let's hope that continues on into the feature round.
They're still sending the cars to the outside of the track. They want to dry that down. They just came through and watered the track after the Midwest Modifieds feature.
And we'll talk to Ben later on this year a little bit of why they water the tracks. And a short version is it gets dusty if we don't water it.
Well, you could see it in the earlier in the heat races today as they were going around turns 3 and 4 from our vantage point. You had to kind of wait for them to come out of the dust to see who was doing what.
Yeah, and so I suspect here race control will start to begin lining up the cars, and we'll get this heat race under the way, or this feature race, excuse me, not heat race. We'll get this going. They are still having them go around and pat down the track.
Also, I want to remind you that if you happen to notice when you get in your car, it's not running like these ones are, and your check engine light is on, call First Choice Mobile Repair to take care of that problem. 715-559-5219. First Choice Mobile Repair makes house calls.
And fans, don't forget that 1 week from tonight, July 27th, we'll be right back here with more Wissota Racing action from the Eagle Valley Speedway. It is the Kyle Runkle Memorial. It will be recorded on July 24th. The broadcast begins on NLWN-TV at 6 p.m. next Monday night.
And we have been treated very well at the track here. They've kind of welcomed us with open arms. And so make sure you let the folks at Eagle Valley Speedway know if you're enjoying this and how much you'd like to see this continue to happen. I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful relationship, as they said in the movie Casablanca.
Rick, we had a chance.
My Bogart isn't very good, but
Rick, we had a chance to talk with track owner Jerry, and he's put in a lot of work in making this track happen and keeping the track up to date and keeping some of the facilities around. And it's a beautiful track. If you haven't been out here, come out here and check it out.
And from the fans' perspective, there's really good seating, lots of grandstand seating, as well as plenty of places to bring your lawn chairs and set them up. A really good concession stand with downright good food. Shiloh over here and Jack, they were raving about the cheese curds. And I've got to agree with them. Those are really good Wisconsin cheese curds. And burgers are good, really good food. There's some other adult beverages available as well.
I was going to say, don't forget we're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You can come out here and get your adult beverages. Now, there are no carry-ins. You do need to purchase from the track. But
for a stadium, prices are very reasonable.
Absolutely.
And you know what? This is an important thing, and a lot of people overlook this. Doggone it, John, the restrooms are clean.
Yes. I will remind fans of one thing. It is 2020, so this does need to be said. There is no credit cards in the concession stand. So if you're coming out here, you want to indulge in the concession stands, bring cash with you.
Yes. I believe there is an ATM in the bar restaurant that's right next door to the track, but that's really inconvenient. Hey, John, the Superstocks just got the one to go, so let's turn it over to Scott Teefs.
So here we go with your 20-lap Wissota Superstock A main. Caution lights will drop down around the speedway. So here we go. Lucas Koski, Doug Koski from row 1. Tony Faulkner and Tommy Richards. Terrence Spacek, Don Muzzy, green flag waving. Lucas Koski, Doug Koski will go door to door as they circle the Eagle Valley Speedway. Tommy Richards looking for an opening in the 7R. Doug Koski trying to hang on. Tommy Richards trying to roll right through the middle. Doug Koski, Tommy Richards, Lucas Koski, Tony Faulkner, Terrence Spacek, your first 5. Doug Koski continues to lead. Koski, Richards, Lucas Koski, Tony Faulkner, Terrence Spacek, Myers now to 6th. Doug Koski looking for his first of the year. Tommy Richards looking for his 7th in the 7R. Doug Koski continues to lead in the 76. Tommy Richards still there in the 7R. Lucas Koski having a good run, his 3rd. Terrence Spacek, Tony Faulkner, and Kurt Myers all battling. Doug Koski continues to work the top of the Eagle Valley Speedway. Tommy Richards still 2nd. Lucas Koski is 3rd, getting into some lap traffic. Richards working on the rear bumper of Doug Koski. Joe Miller now in front of your leaders. Koski working upstairs. Richards is right there. Miller will drop to the bottom and will get out of the way of your leaders as they will drive by on the outside. Tommy Richards looking for a way around the 76 of Doug Koski. Koski started outside of row 1 and has stayed there, but 6-time winner Tommy Richards looking for an opening. Doug Koski, Tommy Richards, Lucas Koski, Terrence Spacek, and Kurt Myers, your first 5. Look out, C.J. Wagner right in front of your leaders. And they will avoid the spinning 93, and the caution flag will wave.
And we're back with you here as we have a spinning car. I heard the track announcer say it, and I can't for the life of me remember who it is.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but all I know is that with this caution, that could have played right into Tommy Richards' hands as he was running second, but really finding it really hard to get around Koski, Doug Koski. And now with the restart, he may have a good shot at it.
And the other thing, Rick, is as that car spun, Doug Koski and Tommy Richards were coming up on him. They almost both just piled right into him, so both of them better be buying lottery tickets on their way out of here tonight because they got a chance to still win this race.
Yeah, that could have been real trouble because he spun in front of the leaders.
And that's racing sometimes. It's fortunate that it didn't happen. Had it happened, it would have totaled out 2 cars, but we sit here. The vehicle that spun is fired.
C.J. Wagner, he's got it running.
He's got it running. He's getting up in line. He's going to take the penalty for causing a caution. And
now let's take a look at how the option that Tommy Richards took is he took the outside in that second row.
And that's because Doug Koski's been running that outside line. If as you were watching, Koski was running that outside line and Richards was running the inside. But here we go. We're going back to green.
Yeah, we're going to leave the lights off for the rest of the night so we don't see it. Here we go, green flag waving. Tommy Richards going to take advantage of the restart and work to the inside of Doug Koski. Here comes Myers in 1M. Tommy Richards with a break on the restart gets underneath Koski, and he's now your new leader. Doug Koski back to second. Myers is third. Here comes Faulkner and Lucas Koski. Tommy Richards trying to put some distance on Doug Koski and Kurt Myers as they battle for second. Koski led the first 14 laps. Look out, Myers and Doug Koski coming together on the back straightaway. Myers will spin down into the infield, and the caution flag will wave. So we'll have to sort things out here in our Superstock A-Main.
Well, again, just like that last restart worked in the favor of Tommy Richards, now let's see if Doug Koski can take advantage of the restart.
Yeah, and I'm trying to catch who's sitting here. I suspect that Myers is not going to get the penalty on that. He was spun. And so we'll see how that sets up, although Myers pulls off of the track here, and I'm not sure what he's doing, but he just pulled into the infield, and they're going to be getting ready to go racing here in a second.
Well, they said Myers was charged with the... and Doug Koski took the outside lane.
Yeah, and they've got the one to go, so we'll send it back to Scott.
National champion sitting at 359 career wins, so the next time Myers parks it, it'll be his 360th of his career. 17 laps and 3 to go for Tommy Richards in 7R. This time by white flag waving one more time for Tommy Richards. So under caution here once again for CJ Wagner. It looks like this one will finish under caution.
Okay.
So, I believe this...
So they did finish the race under caution.
Yes, they finished the race under caution. They're going to come back there around one more time, just make sure everybody knows, okay, the race is over.
So we have Tommy Richards taking first. Second place went to Tony Faulkner. And I believe third was Doug Koski, wasn't it? I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so...
and then Terrence Spacek in fourth, I think is how they have it.
Tommy Richards, man, he went ahead and capitalized on a restart. I'm not sure that he was going to pull that pass off under green, and he got that restart, and he took the lead, and he never looked back.
And it was he has been pretty much unstoppable here at Eagle Valley Speedway, and we'll have to wait and see what he has to say when he gets into victory lane.
And Tommy Richards is actually second in points, 17 behind Tony Faulkner. So depending on where Faulkner finished, I mean, that could have huge implications on that.
Yeah, we'll have to look for that next week on In the Pits, because we'll have that all updated at that point. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Tommy Richards in first place in the Superstock points.
Yeah, it's a very confusing point system. It's the race officials do a very good job of keeping track of that. It's
right, you get points for wins, you get points for finishing the race, you get points for winning your heat, you get points for finishing your heat, and so there's lots of ways to pile up some points, but winning the feature goes a long ways towards adding points to your total.
Absolutely, and I can tell you for a fact that winning the feature does give you 100 points. And we'll have more racing action right after this pit stop on NLWN-TV.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
And we're back here at Eagle Valley Speedway.
Yeah, the pure stocks were ready to go, and so they're already getting the one to go. So unfortunately, we're not going to get you a lineup here, but we're going to send it right over to the track announcer, Scott, and we're going to have a fun race.
All right, caution lights will drop down around the speedway, getting set for your 15 lap. Pure Stock A main.
Well, John, looks like we got to go around one more time. They weren't quite lined up.
So here we go. Brent Mindock. George Richards. So here we go. Pure Stock A main getting set to do it. Green flag waving. George Richards will lead early. Brent Mindock. Rob Graybon will battle behind him. Travis Hazelton in the 31. Rob Graybon looking for his second of the year. George Richards in the 5R. Richards trying to find victory lane for the 4th time this year. Graybon, Richards, Mindock in the 31 of Travis Hazelton. Hazelton looking for his 4th feature win of the year. Devin Fries and Ryan Olson coming together over in turns 3 and 4, and we are under caution.
Line landmarks and traditions you gotta see firsthand. Ask any local up.
And Ryan Olson and C's getting together there.
Again, not practicing social distancing.
In fact, you guys just watched a bumper get torn off the race car, so might take a minute for the track crew to get going. They're going to take a look at that car.
They tore the whole front fender off of that car.
Yeah, Brownie, you're watching Brownie right now trying to tear it off the car so that way the car can continue. Yeah, that was interesting, Rick.
Yeah, and you could kind of see it coming as they were going down the backstretch. There were a little bumping and grinding that had been going along quite a bit there in the middle of that pack.
Yeah, and it looks like Brownie's down here having some trouble peeling the debris off of this 95 car.
That's Devin Fries from Phillips.
Fries. And as soon as they get that, there he goes. He's picking it up, and he's going to set it right on top of the car and say, yeah, you're done for the day. You might as well just take this with you.
Well, he'll take it off into the pits, and if they can get it off before too long, he'll come back out and race.
Yeah. Although I imagine he's not too much of a happy camper, as he's got some work to do this week to get that car ready to come back out to the Eagle Valley Speedway next week.
Okay, he's off the track. Let's see if they let him get across right away.
He's going to take it.
They're going to let him go get in the pits because they might be able to get that torn off and he can continue the race.
And Brownie's down there getting ready to give the one to go next time by. We'll send it back over to Scott when that happens. But it's been a competitive race, Rick. It's
pure stocks are always fun.
Yeah, and I mean, this
these aren't the
night,
most expensive cars, but these are the guys that want it bad.
Yeah, they're out here for the love of the racing. You don't have a lot of money tied up in it. I mean, although it is a lot of money.
Relatively speaking, yeah.
Yeah, so as you look down in the infield, there's a car smoking down there. We got the one to go. We're going to send it back over to Scott.
So 2 laps have been scored, 13 remain for your very early race leader, George Richards. Brent Mindock in the 57 and Rob Graybon in the 16, Travis Hazelton. And then it will be the 2B of Nicholas Hazelton, your first 3 rows. Pat Smith. Then it's the 23R of James Ron. Ryan Olson in the 1. Here we go. Rob Graybon will now lead in the 16. Graybon looking for his second feature win of the year. George Richards still second. Travis Hazelton is third. Nicholas Hazelton will look to the inside of Brent Mindock, and they'll battle for fourth. Pat Smith, James Ron, and then Ryan Olson in the 1. Rob Graybon continues to lead, but he's got company in the 5R of George Richards and the 31 of Travis Hazelton. Graybon, Richards, Hazelton, Mindock, and the 2B of Nicholas Hazelton. Your first 5 remain the same. Great battle out front. Rob Graybon trying to park it for the second time this year in 16. Graybon will slide up the racetrack. Richards going to look to the inside. Graybon, Richards, Hazelton trying to stretch it on Brent Mindock and the rest of the field. Rob Graybon continues to lead. George Richards still looking for an opening in the 5R. Travis Hazelton is there in the 31. Laps winding down now for Bruce, Wisconsin's Rob Graybon. Graybon just trying to hang on. Richards looking for an opening. Hazelton is there as well. This time by white flag, waving one final trip around the Eagle Valley Speedway for Rob Graybon. Graybon, Richards, Hazelton down the back straightaway one final time. Look out, contact on the back straightaway. Hazelton going to look to the inside. Hazelton, Graybon, off at turn 4. Your winner will be... Wow! I will wait for the official call, but how about that?
Well,
John, that's what we call racing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact there on the back straight. Now we're waiting on the official result, but our suspicion is Travis Hazelton edged out there at the end.
It sure looked like it from this vantage point. Travis Hazelton came away with that win.
And I suspect there's going to be a conversation in the pits after that one, but
well, and the thing is, he had nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
that was between Richards and Graybon. They kind of bumped a little bit, and they got a little fishtailing going, and they both lost momentum, and Hazelton just dove down below and was able to edge them out and take the checkered flag is what it looks like.
And it's funny, you know, you talk about losing momentum. There was a few turns there that Hazelton dove it in way too hard.
Now we have...
So still discussing things up here with track personnel.
In the victory lane right now is Rob Graybon. He thinks he won the race.
But Travis Hazelton looks like he's headed for victory lane.
Well,
so here you have it. Third will go to the 5R.
Yeah, here comes Travis Hazelton. So we have a couple cars in victory lane right now. So let's... There he is.
And the official winner is Travis Hazelton. You couldn't ask for a better finish. But
that was pretty darn exciting, let me tell you. That was some serious racing.
And Rick, let's send this back down to Brownie here as he's going to do the victory lane interview.
I would have been very disappointed if he wasn't ready to do that. So let's go down to Brownie. And maybe they've got a little, looks like they might have a little bit of too much heat where it doesn't belong in Hazelton's engine. So some of the track crew is coming out to help take care of that before Brownie gets in there.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned in the last caution that there was a car sitting in the pits, seemed to have a little bit of a heating issue. He was blowing smoke, as I'm sure as you were watching the stream or the race, you could see a little bit of smoke coming up from the infield, and that's what that was a result of. It's a hot night out here, and these cars are definitely showing it.
So we're gonna still Travis Hazelton in the victory. And we're still waiting to hear from Brownie, and hopefully.
In the Haas Incorporated victory lane here at Eagle Valley Speedway, the winner is Travis Hazelton.
Rookies Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls has been newly remodeled. They have happy hour Monday, Thursday until 6 p.m. There's free pool Mondays and Tuesdays, and a free jukebox on Tuesdays. Don't forget, Rookies has a DJ every Friday and Saturday night. Stop by and check out Rookies Pub, 616 North Bridge Street in Chippewa Falls. Don't forget, at Rookies you can watch the races with racers.
So John, we're under caution.
Yes, we're under caution. A spin coming into turn 3. I didn't see it as I was looking down and reading some notes here real quick. Typically when that happens, it's a little bit of an issue of cars make contact or diving into the corner a little bit too steep, and you know, these cars have quite a bit of horsepower underneath them, and it happens quick. So we're going to get the one to go coming right away here. They're lining up, going down the back stretch, and we're going to send it right back over to Scott.
And I do have to apologize for the audio issues. Our audio just all of a sudden dropped out. I got it back. We should be good to go.
So we'll try it again. Caution lights dropping down around the speedway. Denny cuts forth Michael Truscott, getting set to do it once again from row 1.
Under caution here once again for the 33 of Cooper Berlin.
And folks, we seem to have some audio issues going on.
We're fine.
Oh, never mind then. That was the car number 33 of Cooper Berlin again for the second straight caution. I didn't see where exactly he went. He's in the infield. It looks like he may be parking it for the race. We got the one to go, and we're going. Folks, right now we are under a red flag, even though the caution lights are on. It is a red flag conditions here at the Eagle Valley Speedway as they attempt to clean up this mess. While they attempt to clean this up, we're going to go ahead and send you on a break. You're watching the Wissota Modifieds on NLWN-TV.
Rock Solid Transport, ready to move your product. Whether it's produce to seafood or building materials to general freight, Rock Solid hauls it all. If you need a flatbed, pneumatic, or refrigerated shipment, Rock Solid is ready to meet your needs. Call Rock Solid Transport at 715-874-7625 and let Rock Solid Transport get your product where it needs to go.
And folks, we're back here. We're still under red flag conditions in this Wissota Modifieds feature. They just got both the cars untangled. We're going to get going here in just a second. They'll put the caution flag back out as I see all the cars are firing back up. Not all of them shut down, but a couple of them did. And it looks like the 22 here is a little antsy to get going. You got the 11 making his way around the speedway to get lined up. And the caution flag is back out on the speedway, and they'll run a lap or two to get set up, and we'll pass you back on to Scott. But Rick, could we have asked for any better racing tonight?
Well, there's been plenty of moments of excitement and thrills and spills and all of that. So, yeah, I think your point is a good one, John.
Yeah, I mean, we're having a lot of fun out here. Again, as we said earlier, if you haven't been out to the Eagle Valley Speedway, make your way out here. You head up north from Chippewa Falls on 178. You can't miss it. There's signs showing you the one turn that you got to take. You head out here, absolutely phenomenal facilities. They're running during this pandemic. They're allowing you the chance to social distance if that's what you choose to do, which we here at the Northern Light Webcasting Network do recommend that you social distance and wear a mask. And it's an absolutely gorgeous facility, and you
could almost say that it's now the Friday night place to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're having a blast. We're going to go ahead and send it back to Scott. We got the one to go.
Kurt Myers and Mike Knops and Mike Anderson, Mark Hansen, your first three rows. Still do not have a lap scored. Once again, a Hornet A-Main up right after this one. $1,000 to the winner tonight. Let's see who it'll be. So lights will drop down around the speedway once again. Green flag flying this time by high above the Eagle Valley Speedway. Here we go. Scott's got it going on tonight as he continues to lead Mike Anderson. Keep an eye on that great battle for third between Kurt Myers and the 13 of Nick Kaler. Mike Knops is fifth in the 93. Anderson, Myers, Kaler, Michael Truscott. Truscott looking for a $1,000 payday. Mike Anderson trying to reel him in. Myers and Kaler continue to battle, and then Mike Knops is fifth. Michael Truscott looking for his third feature win of the year in 22T. He continues to put some distance on Mike Anderson. Continuing to battle is Kurt Myers and Nick Kaler. Mike Knops and Jake Smith continue to go at it. Clayton Wagman working the top side. Keep an eye on the 14W. Truscott flat out flying around the Eagle Valley Speedway. Mike Anderson still second. Nick Kaler now to third. Myers back to fourth. Jake Smith is fifth. And it's Wagaman, Knops, Mark Hansen, Zach Gibson, Kyle Helling, Sam Bankhauser, Jeff Tardy, and Scott Duvall. That is your field here for your $1,000 to win modified A-Main tonight. Michael Truscott started outside of row one and has stayed there as he continues to work his way towards lap traffic here on the front straightaway. Traffic in front of your leader, Michael Truscott, as they drive down the back straightaway. Michael Truscott is there now, trying to put the ball a lap down in the 92. Truscott will go to the outside of the 92. Anderson is still second. Michael Truscott will work to the outside of Scott Duvall as he tries to put the 92 a lap down. Jeff Tardy, Sam Bankhauser, Kyle Helling. The next three drivers set to go a lap down to the 22T of Michael Truscott. Truscott once again with lap traffic in front of him. Tardy, Helling, Bankhauser will go at it. Truscott is there this time in the 22T. Laps winding down now for the 22T of Michael Truscott. Truscott still hung up in lap traffic as they drive down the back straightaway. Mike Anderson trying to put Scott Duvall a lap down to the 92 this time by white flag waving one more time for Michael Truscott. Truscott in heavy lap traffic down the back straightaway for the final time. Your leader will drive into turn 3. Off of turn 4 for the third time this year, your winner at 22T, Michael Truscott. So there you have it, race fans. Third will go to the 13 of Nick Kaler, runner-up to the 57 of Mike Anderson. And in the MB Customs, Tim's Automotive Machine, Baxter's Speed Shop, Southwood Chevrolet Buick GMC, Rookies Pub, MSK Realtor, Dahlback Logging, SG McKinnon Logging, Home Value Appraisers, Wide Open Marine, Vanetta Plumbing, CRC Motorsports, JP Mechanical, Yamaha, and Mike and Michelle Durr. Getting his third feature win of the year, he's out of Chippewa Falls at 22T, Michael Truscott.
And Truscott took the lead, never looked back, and had such a lead that at the end of the race, Rick and I are trying to figure out who's where. We couldn't figure it out.
In fact, I was looking down at some paperwork, and when I looked up, I lost track of Truscott because he was hung up in lap traffic, and there was all kinds of traffic around him, and I'm going, where'd he go? Where'd he go? And he's doing some dirt burnouts down there.
Yeah, we're going to send this down to Brownie here, and he's going to get a victory lane speech, and Truscott be having a grand old time right now.
Do you think he's excited? All right. You guys okay? Yeah. Got a little dust in their eyes. They said they're all good to go. They're young. They're tough.
Good job, Dad. Good job, Dad.
Hey, Dad, you got the kids all full of dirt. He's all excited.
Give him the mic.
Here you go. You talk to him.
Good job, Dad. Good job. You did good.
In the Haas Incorporated victory lane, give it up for the 22. Our feature winner tonight, Mike Truscott.
And if you're going to celebrate in victory lane, that's exactly how you ought to do it.
Yeah, and Mike Truscott and family excited. They took home a $1,000 payday tonight. That's a big payday here at the Wissota Modified Division. One thing I'll point out here is Wissota Modified does not actually stand for Lake Wissota. It's Wisconsin and Minnesota, so it's a combination of the words.
Which is also what Lake Wissota stands for. They just spell it differently.
Correct. Mike Truscott ran a heck of a race here. We're going to actually send it back to Brownie real quick.
Thanks all the guys sitting around rookies the other night that added some extra money for the night, so it was a good deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you. You come out here pretty much every Friday night and support us here at Eagle Valley Speedway. We really do appreciate it. You got some great sponsors. You got a great family. It's just a great win for you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, give it up for our buddy right here, Mike Truscott, our feature winner here tonight in the Haas Incorporated victory lane here at Eagle Valley Speedway. Give back to you, Scott.
Congratulations, Michael Truscott.
All right, and we're back here. That was the Wissota Modifieds feature, ladies and gentlemen. You can't get any more excited. They had trouble getting the race started. We're going to have the Hornets for you right after this quick pit stop. You're watching Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
All right, we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway in Jim Falls, Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had an action-packed night. We're going to Hornets. It's the final feature of the night. We've had a blast. Let's get the Hornets. Let's get the Hornets to go. We got starting on the front row in position number 1 in the number 33, Derek Crumry from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. On the outside of row 1, you've got number 20, Brandon Gelter from Mondovi, Wisconsin. On row 2, you got the 221 of Danny Halterman from Stanley. On the outside of row 2, you have the 9, JR Roy Cooper from Arkansas, Wisconsin. Row 3, you have the 917 of Jeremy Johnson out of Elmwood. On the outside of row 3, you have the 21P of Levy Price from Menominee. Row 4, rounding out the field, the 9SR of Scott Cooper from Arkansas, Wisconsin. And the number 4, Jocelyn Carruthers out of Durand. We got the 1 to go already signaled. We're going to send it over to Scott for the final of the night. Ladies and gentlemen,
come down and get the 1 to go. This is what people come into, and here we go.
Derek Crumrye, Brandon Glider will go at it here in the opening lap. Danny Halterman and Jeremy Johnson will do the same. Roy Cooper, the 9 junior, rounding out your first 5. Scott Cooper is 6th. Jocelyn Carruthers, and then Levi Price in the 21 Pete. Derek Crumrye continues to lead here early in 33. Crumrye and Glider trying to put some distance on Danny Halterman and Jeremy Johnson as they race down the back straightaway. Derek Crumrye continues to lead. Brandon Glider, Danny Halterman, Jeremy Johnson, and the 9 junior of Roy Cooper. Your first 5 here in our Hornaday main. Brandon Glider looking for a way by that 33 of Derek Crumrye. Crumrye, Glider, Halterman, Johnson, your first 4. Derek Crumrye started inside of row 1 and has stayed there, but under heavy pressure from outside row 1 starter Brandon Glider. Derek Crumrye trying to hang on and put it in the Haas Incorporated victory lane for the second time this year. Danny Halterman making his way to the front as he continues to work right through the middle in the 221. Jeremy Johnson hanging around in the 917, and then Roy Cooper, your first 5. Crumrye, Glider, Jeremy Johnson, your first 4 have checked out on Roy Cooper, Scott Cooper, Levi Price, and Jocelyn Carruthers. Crumrye now with a couple car-length advantage as they drive down the back straightaway. Laps winding down now for Derek Crumrye in the 33, Brandon Glider in the 20, and Danny Halterman in the 221, your first 3. This time by white flag waving one more time for Derek Crumrye. Crumrye down the back straightaway one final time. Brandon Glider still there. Battle continues for 3rd. Your leader into turn 3. He will drive off at turn 4 for the second time this year. Your winner at 33, Derek Crumrye.
Well, John, that's going to take care of the racing action tonight as the Hornets finish things up with Derek Crumrye going wire to wire and taking away the Hornet crown for the night.
Yeah, Derek Crumrye, he got the lead right off the start and couldn't be touched. I mean, at the end of the day, they just had nothing for him.
And so he's going to pull into the victory lane here in just a moment. And I see him coming down through the darkness.
Yeah, he's going
to shark's teeth in the front of his car. And looks like we're going to get ready to send it down to Brownie as he's going to have the victory lane celebration with Derek Crumrye. And Brownie's still waiting for Krummerai to get out of the car. There's a lot of unbuckling that needs to be done. I think we're going to have a show about that in Track Talk and with Ben a little bit later on.
Here in the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane down here. Give it up for Derek Krummerai. That's 33. Woo! Baby. Nice race. Stayed out front, you know, nice and smooth, no problems.
I had the horseshoe tonight on getting pole in the heat and feature. I'd like to keep getting that. That's nice.
Well, you drew one. Then you go, well, yeah, but I'm the only one here, so probably somebody else will probably beat me anyway.
Yeah, sometimes you got to have confidence more than I do. But got to thank my sponsors this year. Huge support every year I've been racing. Esslinger Engineering is the first sponsor, which helped me out big time this year. Diesel Repair Shop, Steve's Hillcrest Truck and Auto, Rick's Auto Care Center, Sport Rider, Rotor-Rooter, Heidelwild Bar, Don Sheet Metal, PWS. I got a whole bunch of them.
Well, you can't forget about your wife, Stephanie, too. She supports you, too.
Yes, she does, and she's not here again tonight when I won.
Oh, that's all right. You know, it was a great race. I mean, you drove a really nice one. Anything else you want to add?
Thanks, everyone, for coming out and sticking around.
All right, that'll do it for us down here. Give it up for Derek Krummerai, our feature winner here in the Hornets, here in the Haas Incorporated Victory Lane. Back to you.
Rick, yeah.
What a night.
Yeah, it's been a good night, and that's going to wrap up the racing action for us tonight. But we're not done because we're going to wrap up our Wissota Racing action, but coming up next on NLWN-TV right away is our program called Victory Lane, and in Victory Lane, you and I are going to go through and summarize all the results of tonight's action. So that's coming up next on NLWN-TV. And so for our crew, have a good evening, and we'll be right back on the other side.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
You've been watching Classic Wissota Racing Action on NLWN-TV. Classic Wissota Racing Action has been brought to you by Rock Solid Transport, getting the goods you need hauled to their destination, and by Rookies Pub in Chippewa Falls, where you can watch the races with racers. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Victory Lane, where we'll review the results from the races we brought you tonight.
It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Time now for Victory Lane, where we take a look back at today's racing action. So now, back out to the Speedway and Victory Lane.
And we're back here at the Eagle Valley Speedway. It's Victory Lane time. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a fun night of racing. We're going to go through a little bit of what happened.
Yeah, and one of the things I'd like to point out that some of the more exciting races we had were during the heats, although we had some outstanding features tonight. Let's take a look at these. The street stocks in Heat A, we had fourth place finisher was Dalton Hazelton, third place Cole Richards, second place Mike Knutson, and taking the checker flag in Heat A was Danny Richards in car 3R. Then we had Heat B. The third place finisher was Travis Lowe from Barron. Second place, James Clausen. And first place out of Medford, Wisconsin in car number 12, Cody Coomer. So how'd that feature turn out then, John?
Well, it was the first feature of the night, and I've got the top three for you. Finishing third in car 2D, Dalton Hazelton out of New Albern, Wisconsin. Finishing second in the 84 was Hunter Van Glider out of Rice Lake, and winning the feature on an absolutely spectacular finish was the 42K of Mike Knutson out of Osseo, Wisconsin.
Then we had the Wissota Modifieds, and in the first heat, Heat A, we have Jake Smith taking third in car 21. Second place was Mike Anderson in car 57, and taking first place, Mike Knops from Chippewa Falls in car number 93. Then in Heat B, fourth place was Nick Kaler from Bloomer. Then in the 22T, third place went to Michael Truscott from Chippewa Falls. Second place, Kurt Myers from Cameron. And first place, Mark Hansen from Chippewa Falls. So that was check that. That's the Wissota Modifieds. Yeah, in the Wissota Modifieds. And what did you have for the feature in the Wissota Modifieds?
In the feature, we had a third place of the 13 of Nick Kohler out of Bloomer, Wisconsin. Finishing second in that race was the 57 of Mike Anderson out of Jim Falls, and winning that race in spectacular fashion was the 22T of Michael Truscott out of Chippewa Falls. He ran away with that race, Rick.
Then we have the Wissota Modifieds in the A heat. We have Kennedy Swan from Chippewa taking fourth. Third place was Jake Stye from New Auburn. Second place, Derek Haas from Thorpe. And first place, Shane Halupka from Greenwood. Then in the B heat, fourth place went to Dylan Gadel out of Chippewa Falls. Josh Smith took third from Fall Creek. Second place, Kent Baxter out of Colfax. And first place, George Dahlback from Wakefield, Michigan.
Now, winning the feature, or finishing third in the feature there, was the number 1 of Jake Stahl out of New Auburn. Finishing second was the 23 Double D of George Dahlback out of Wakefield, Michigan. And winning the feature was Shane Halupka out of Greenwood, Wisconsin in that 3 junior.
So then we have the Wissota Super Stocks. And in feature A, we have third place Tony Faulkner from Menominee. Second place was Kurt Myers from Cameron. And in first place was Terrence Spacek out of Phillips. Now in the B heat, fourth place was Don Musi from Ironwood, Michigan. Third place, Lucas Koski from New Richmond. Second place, Willie Johnson from Superior. And first place, Tommy Richards out of Mondovi. So give us those Super Stock feature results there, John.
Finishing fourth in the Super Stocks was the 22T of Terrence Spacek out of Phillips, Wisconsin. Finishing third was the 76 of Doug Koski out of Chisholm, Minnesota.
Exactly.
Finishing second was the number 27 of Tony Faulkner out of Menominee, Wisconsin. And winning that race was the 7R of Tommy Richards.
Then we have the Pure Stocks, and they only had one heat in the Pure Stocks. Third place was George Richards of Mondovi. Second place, Ron Grabon out of Bruce. And first place was Brent Mindock from Prentice, Wisconsin, in car number 57.
All right, finishing third in the feature was the car 5R of George Richards out of Mondovi, Wisconsin. Finishing second was the 16 of Ron Garbon out of Bruce, Wisconsin, and winning the feature on a last lap pass was the 31 of Travis Hazelton out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
That gets us to the Hornets, and we had one heat race for the Hornets. Let's see, I believe the third place was Brandon Gleiter from Mondovi, and second place went to Jeremy Johnson from Elmwood. First place went to Derek Crummery out of Eau Claire in car number 33.
And the feature, finishing fourth in the feature was the 917 of Jeremy Johnson out of Elwood. Finishing third in the feature was the 221 of Danny Halterman out of Stanley, Wisconsin. Finishing second was the 20 of Brandon Gleiter out of Mondovi, Wisconsin. And winning the feature leading lap to lap was the 33 of Derek Crumry out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
So, John, we have done Wissota racing action from the Eagle Valley Speedway, and this is our first time out, and we have at least 6 more of these on tap this season. So we're going to have some fun time racing through the rest of July and through August, and who knows, maybe a little into September and October as well.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we had a lot of fun out here tonight. We had some great racing. The Wissota mods put on a show. They always do. They're the feature. The Hornets run last, I understand that, but the Wissota mods are what we are here for. They're very souped up cars. They had a lot of fun. And
altogether, we had a great night.
Yeah, we did. And I'll tell you what, folks, if you like this, come back next week, same time, same place, because we're going to have more Wissota Racing action from Eagle Valley Speedway. You've been watching Victory Lane on NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Victory Lane with a look back at today's racing action. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.